What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, JDiesel, coming at you live with episode number 32 of Under the Radar. And with me, as always, my partner in crime, Grandmaster FloKey. How you doing, my man? Talk to me.
Oh, God, this episode's gonna be some crazy shit. I don't know if y'all prepared for this, but this is like, just as a real heads up, Faulty Thing did have a bow out. I just want to quickly address that. He is, Dragon Ball this week is insane over in New York. So he had to bow out, unfortunately, but I know he's gonna be going out in chat. But other than that, everything's good. You know, this weekend was interesting. Work's been interesting. Just been kind of just grinding things out. I did win Kyle Cam's tournament on Wednesday, which was lit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won that through winners with Gogeta, so that was really fun. I might enter it again this week. I don't know yet. But we got history today, JDiesel. There's history being made.
Are we talking about history? Now, I think while there is some history,
that's true.
I think you got to start at the beginning, because we wouldn't even know the history if we didn't have this man's angelic voice on the mic guiding us through it. Who we talking about though, FloKey?
Okay. Listen, if y'all remember his episode, this man's been on the come up. He's been working really hard. Had a decent performance over at Summer Jam. Just came off his weekend over at ECT. Been dropping really hot bars over on SoundCloud. He's been putting a lot of work on his stream, and one half of the commentators last night, and probably one of my favorite episodes that we've done. Check the first VOD if you didn't have no idea who this man is, all the way from Strong Island. It's Cali Mac.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah. It's lit.
But this is history. This is JDiesel. Cali Mac is our first guest we've ever had twice.
That is absolutely incredible. And honestly, if there was a guest that we could have twice,
I'm okay with it.
It's got to be this man, right?
Facts. That's facts. Cali Mac, people know who you are by now a little bit. What have you been up to since the last time you spoke with us?
I've just been out here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, but you know, I've been the hyperbolic time champion. You know, I've been working hard on my craft, trying to surpass my levels. You know what I mean? Grinding out this training, these sessions, doing these tournaments. You know, just came back from ECT. That was lit. Yeah, I've been out here, you know. That's that pretty much, you know.
Yeah, and then you dropped a music video just recently.
That is a fact. I did drop a music video. I did a freestyle to an old Busta Rhymes song called "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See."
It's so fire.
Yeah, that joint is pretty dope. I'm not even gonna lie. Not to toot my own horn, but it's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, you don't gotta be humble in here.
Nah, I appreciate that. No, I mean, yeah, I've been doing the music thing for a long time. Honestly, you know, it was honestly my first passion.
Really? Yeah, because you were talking about that on the last time you were here.
Yeah, you know, gaming just took over.
So, well, we are here to welcome you back into Welcome Open Arms. Tonight is gonna be we have a couple of topics to start out. You know, just ease it to everything. I think we should start with this weekend as well. Upcoming is First Attack over in Puerto Rico. That's happening. I know Alucard's going out there. I don't know who else is going out. I think Nafio's going out there, and a bunch of other U.S. players.
And for those of you concerned that we're not getting to the big thing, I'm going to tell you all right now, just to make it clear, this is the fluff piece.
This is the fluff piece.
This is the build up. We got to do the wrap. This is the wrap up from this week.
We just have to quickly just talk about things. So First Attack is this weekend, so make sure you guys are tuning into that. It's gonna be a banger. I might do a separate prediction stream. I might summon up JDiesel and we'll do something there.
This man just doesn't want to lose more money to me. So
that's very true.
So FloKey, I think this definitely falls under the umbrella of things that we need to do the wrap up on, right? So we went ahead and we had a little bit of a wager for those of you that don't know at the last podcast where we made predictions for top 16 for East Coast Throwdown, right? Now, it could have been anybody taking it home. But sadly, it was not this man.
It was not.
It was not. And now, granted, it was close-ish. Now, I got a question. Who were you guys most surprised made top 16?
Homie from New Rochelle.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah, he plays with Tutal, Random Fiend, T Wong, Prodigy, plays with all those guys. He's been on his come up. I don't know what team he's playing now, but I know from last time I played him, he was playing Tohan Piccolo, Vegeta. I don't know if he switched that around last time I played him.
In the bracket, he was playing Team Gohan, Vegeta, and Base Vegeta.
Base Vegeta? I don't know.
Wow.
But regardless, that man is TGA. That man's been playing Tohan for a very long time, so it's nice to see that. I think another player that granted, we had one New England representative with Kevin Tech with his really unusual team make it all the way through, beating the likes of Alucard. I think one thing too, if we want to kind of seep into that a little bit, legendary Pred over Chris G, which was a big one.
That was super crazy. Shout out to my man Pred.
Yo, Pred put in the work.
I was watching that live. It was crazy.
Pred kind of went off. And it's funny because all of us had Pred making it out.
Right.
Pred just played incredibly cleanly this weekend. So right now, for those of you watching, I'm about to put up the predictions. The highlighted in green were the correct predictions, and those without highlights were incorrect. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on stream for y'all.
Why you got to do this?
So you can see right here.
See, I was prepared for this. I was already prepared to get once I saw New England get their ass bust. Besides Kevin Tech, I was like, you know what? I saw
you got the one you cared about though, right?
Yeah, we got Kevin Tech because we realized that Kevin's secret boss of Mass.
Yes.
One person that we were really surprised that didn't make it out was Kite. Lost a close one against Axe.
Honestly, that was a coin flip.
It was a genuine coin flip.
If that had gone the other way, actually, Youngfish would have beaten me out in predictions. Literally, that one match, it would have swung the points.
But I 100%, 1,000% have to give it up for my man Kite because he was the only player to take a game off of Sonic Fox all weekend.
So talk to me, guys. How did this man do it? Right? Because I'm sitting here still kind of at a loss about Kite managing to do that.
I think so. So I played Kite the night prior. On my stream, one thing was that he was very much not knowing what team he wanted to play, which was fair. He plays a bunch of teams. So I talked to him and I was at one point Netplay was Netplay was lagging up. I was like, dude, just go to bed, get a good night's sleep. You might need it. Straight up,
man needs his.
I know that I know the man's a degen, but when it comes to playing Fox, they don't play around. They do not play around. So I think, and I was watching that match at work, oddly enough, and I know the man's real name. So I said his real name at work while he was playing Fox, and my boss was like, "What?" And I was like, no, it's okay, don't worry about it." And I was just popping off in the break room. It was the funniest thing. But really, I'm really proud of New England in general. Everyone put in a lot of work. Me and Fish were actually talking about it. Also, shouts to Brad, another UTR alum, did a phenomenal job. Also with Romanova, another UTR. Can we talk about how we've had so many people?
I'm really proud of the one thing that I will say, and I'm not going to say we're responsible for this, but we definitely are. Every person that we have had on here has immediately found even more success than they previously had. Our first guest was Wrath. Now,
that's very true.
Our first guest was Wrath, and then man immediately becomes one of the best content creators for Dragon Ball, hands down.
Yeah, he makes some really dope tutorial videos and stuff. I really mess with his stuff.
That's the really crazy thing. I think another person too, Ricky with the CEO Taku performance, Calimac, you with like all your music stuff and like that kind of thing, Romanova and Brad like putting in a lot of work on commentary of this past
commentary, streamers, like just across the board.
It's like we're like proud parents. Like
Pivot Ace and Doza, their episodes were back to back right after they both top 8'd in Texas. Like, and that was to say top 8 with the Kill Sage. Like it's just absolutely crazy. Like the number of people that we have had who have managed to just go on to like phenomenal success afterwards. And honestly, they're people that as way that I feel, it's like they're no longer under the radar.
That's very true.
Right? Like they started, they were at one point they were under the radar, and now these are becoming household names for these games. And that there is incredibly exciting and rewarding for me as somebody who does this.
Yeah, same. And like, the crazy thing is like, so part of my picks, though granted I got last and like I'm totally cool with that.
It's all right, Flo.
Part of my picks were based on people that like
you believed in.
I believed in, and like a lot of the players that I've been seeing making a lot of success stories. And like the one thing is, and I feel like now we could talk about that, the pool of Dragon Ball players at a higher level is so big. It is kind of OD.
The tier 1 level for Dragon Ball, like your Sonic Foxes, Goichis to Kill Sages, that's like a relatively select group. But the tier 2 scene for this game, right? The level right below that is getting bigger and bigger with every single event. And it's funny because you see somebody like Alu go down, right? And then you sit there and go, what happened, right? And you say what happened. And it's funny because like a lot of people were like, I wasn't surprised because there's just so many killers. And you could get got because you just run into some unknown hidden boss, right? Because there's a lot of them all over the place at this point in the game's life cycle where, yeah, they don't travel very much, but they're like, you know what? This major looks kind of quaint. Maybe I'll make my way over there. And now they're just they're unseated because you've never heard of them. Mm-hmm. And then you get smoked. And like that's terrifying, right? Also, best of luck to Alucard on that surgery recovery. I know. I want to say he's another person we've had on the podcast as well. I want to give that man my love. And
seriously.
Hope you feel better soon, my man.
Yeah. Dude, like kind of bouncing off that, like every player that we've had has done like something, even the top players, right? We've had Nokami on before. He's had some success. LK's been doing a lot of stuff on the YouTube grind. I think at this point, it's doing this podcast really opened my eyes to like what other scenes are around me besides the East Coast. I think that's one thing that like if anybody wants to take away from that, that's the big thing. Again, faulty thing is at HOC. He is not here. He had to unfortunately dip out. It is all good. Faulty has already promised me, and I will screen cap it, that he will make the next day he is called for.
All right. Well, that will be.
I'm going to hold him to it.
I like that, but actually, one thing that I realized we neglected, and you know what? I'm ashamed because we were not true to form today.
Oh, we were.
Calimac.
Yeah.
There's some people in this chat. There's quite a few people watching right now. They need to know who you are if they don't already, and not just for the illustrious commentator that you are. so
because we did the catch up, but we did the
catch up, but we gotta introduce this man. It don't gotta be long, but the key points that you want out there. You already know you're a music maker. Exactly. What you got, man?
Yeah, what you got?
I appreciate that, man. For those of you that don't know me, I go by Calimac. That's my tag. I am a sponsored Dragon Ball Fighter Z player for Scorpius Esports.
Oh?
I am also Team Gohan Extraordinaire Master Supreme Sensei Kai. So if you didn't know, now you know. You feel me?
Are you also part? You're part of the TGA, right?
Yeah, it's TGA.
Could you tell the people in chat who might not know, what does TGA stand for?
Oh, that's Team Gohan Army. You feel me? Because it's militarized. You feel me? That's how it is.
That's OD.
Ready to strike at a moment's notice.
Yo, with the
light.
my god, you and me had the same
Yo,
reason.
that's OD.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry for the scream. That was OD though.
Oh my
That was OD. The read.
oh my God.
That was the read
That's
right
it.
there.
The new topic is Cali Mac hashtag TGA. That's the new topic right now because you just made it that.
That's how it
Oh
is,
my
man.
God.
that was
Nah,
so
100% shout out to them
fun.
though. Those are my guys. They
I'm
helped me out a lot.
Oh, I respect that you have like an incredible community for your character, and that's something that a lot of
Seriously.
characters don't really have right now. So big respect.
And you know what? Yeah, I never even realized that until I joined a couple other character discords. Like it's
Right.
really not the same. I mean, like it's a nice community in TGA.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, especially when new characters keep coming out, and like you have like a handful of people that like will stick in the same discords, but like they'll add like a channel for that matchup. But like the camaraderie and the TGA is definitely big. One thing to note, really quick, going back to Faulty, you and Faulty play the same character now.
Yes, we do.
That's really
So
funny.
how do you feel about that transition?
Yeah. How do you feel about your old rival playing your same character?
I mean, I don't. At this point in the game, I don't feel a way about anybody picking up Team Gohan because he's top 5 in the game. He's OD.
I completely
So, you
agree.
know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't really
facts.
feel no type of way about it. Other than I mean, like, do what you gotta do.
It's just very ironic. You know?
It is, but
It's
you know,
it's a cool
it is.
kind of irony, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of new characters, boys, we got new scans
We do have to talk about
and
Broly real
in-game
quick.
images. Listen.
All right.
Somewhere Scamby is crying.
Oh my God.
Somewhere Ricky and Scamby and all the Broly players, they're all jumping for joy. Calimac, how do you feel about, because there's not a lot of information, there's only images right now, but based on what you saw, how do you like the character aesthetically, and how do you think the character might play?
Well, I really try not to judge too much off the screen caps because it's hard. You can tell a little bit, but you can't tell a lot for straight screen caps, But
Right.
From what I've seen, it looked, and from what I've seen and what I've heard, he definitely looks like he's gonna be a cool character. He's gonna be big, but I think the most interesting aspect of the character is gonna be the transformation aspect, because apparently he's supposed to start the match in his base form, and then when he turns to level 3, when he does a level 3, he's supposed to power up and remain power up for the remainder of the game.
Look, you feel
which is something that's never been done before.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting level system. It's a little reminiscent of adult Gohan, but you don't have to commit
on
to
steroids.
Right?
Yeah, like a whole adult Gohan to the max. Absolutely.
It's definitely. Jay, how do you feel about Super Broly?
I think he's gonna be really. I can't wait to see all of the double Broly teams that are going to emerge,
Dude,
because people are going to play that, and I think it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
I am really excited to see what comes of this character. I'm not sure exactly where he'll end up in the tier list. It's way too early to make any kind of calls. I am excited for the character, but I think that brings us to the end of our quick wrap up.
Oh no. Listen, I want to tell people at home, right? So I was streaming. JDiesel texts me. He's like, "Hey, dude, if I told you shit might hit the fan," and
those were not my words.
I know, but like I just want to exaggerate it a bit.
All right, play it up for the camera. Ham up.
Listen, I have to play it up a bit, right? He was like, "Hey, things might get a little crazy. More people might show up. What's your take on that?" I was like, "So you're saying we're already making history by having Calimac on twice?"
I was gonna say, so real quick, we have not had a guest. We've had 32 episodes. This is the first time we've had a guest on for a repeat appearance. So that crown will forever be held by this king, Calimac.
That's very
himself.
True. TGA gang. Yeah. Number two is that this is gonna be our first multi-person podcast. Besides the 3. That's huge, regardless if Faulty Thing was here or not. So that is gonna be kind of crazy. And I think, boys, are we ready to talk about this?
I think it's time. You know what? It's funny because people were talking.
Stressing right now.
People were talking.
Right.
So let's kick it off. Unless you have literally been living under a rock, and I don't mean the rock just laying on the ground. I'm talking about the rock underneath of another rock. You know what went down at East Coast Throwdown,
aka last night.
It's known. It's known. What we had was one of the most interesting money matches in a while. Now it's funny. Now people are gonna say it's not interesting from a gameplay perspective. Fine. Right. Make that. But we're gonna be delving into everything about this money match, and there are two different guests who are going to be joining us tonight, in addition to Callie Mac. But we'll be rolling them through as we go along.
Oh, God.
So get hype, strap in. For those of you that have come out to join us tonight, I am glad you are here because you picked one hell of an under the radar episode to tune into.
This is, I think real quick, kind of go piggybacking, like before this event, like when you posted the predictions, this is the most traffic we've had in discussions about UTR, like hearing about the predictions, and then this, it really shows a testament what me and Jay have been trying to put together. So real quick, have to plug. If you guys are watching this live, thank you. If you guys aren't, also shout out to Sharpie. I see you. I see you.
Absolutely.
I know we were gonna get there. I was gonna get there.
Actually, I was gonna Sharpie. This is something I gotta say, and I do want to say this. Sharpie is one of the most powerful TOs in all of fighting game existence.
That's true.
Not just because she puts in a lot of time, but because she goes above and beyond to not only run her tournaments, but to make sure that every member of her community is empowered to make a difference within that community and to grow that community. And I know 100% that if I had been anywhere else in the continental US and had the vision that I did for trying to grow a community, I don't think it could have taken the route the way it did in Xanadu.
Yeah,
and a big part of that was honestly because of Sharpie.
Also, hashtag play Skullgirls. I had to say it.
Play Skullgirls.
I had to say it. I'm sorry.
It's only right.
I know that's her line, and I'm sorry, but I'm having
there's no copyrights on greatness, FloKey.
Yeah, I haven't had any interactions with Sharpie, but I've heard nothing but good things. And from what I've been seeing through Twitter and stuff like that, she's been putting a lot of work for Maryland and stuff like that. So I have to tip my hat over there as well. Thank you for everything that you've done for the podcast and the PRZ. But yeah, you guys are watching this live, thank you. If you guys are watching this on YouTube after the VOD, thank you. It's
enough of the thanks are here. The thanks will come at the end.
Here. Yo, seriously, I'm just ready to just talk about this money match, top to bottom. But before we kind of dive into that, I need to talk lore a bit.
True.
Callie Mac.
Yo.
My brother. You and Faulty had a money match.
This is true.
A run of money matches over the summer talking about this year. Was it poetic for you and Faulty to be on the mic for this?
Poetic is a hilarious way to describe it.
Was it like a poetic? It felt like poetic. It really did feel like poetic justice.
It felt like the end of an arc.
I like
That's
that.
True. I do.
It felt like the end of an arc.
This is where like Goku and Vegeta, they go from. This is like their Namek saga, right? Where they're like the planet is like blowing up, and Faulty just looks up at Callie and he's like, Callie Mac, commentate with me one last time, and then it takes an hour for the set to run, right? But
no, but seriously, because I know you two had a hot rivalry over at the HOC for a very long time, and to kind of see you two come together was one that I was very surprised about, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but it's the beef between us it didn't last very long, honestly. Like,
No.
honestly and truly, like we were cordial with each other at DTN because we were both in such agreement of how terrible of a tournament that was. Like, it was so bad.
You guys bonded over hating DTN.
Yeah, like literally, like
crazy.
it was ridiculous. Like, but no, I mean, like it's you know what I mean, like it's just that got squashed a while ago. Know what I mean, like that's cool.
But it's cool. But it's cool to like, because a lot of people didn't know that was squash until just now.
Right.
So it's kind of like cool to get the inside of that, and then like, because I saw Daniel post a picture, and like I was like, holy shit, like they are actually commentating together.
It legitimately, for a lot of people, I guess more outside your scene, who had only caught snippets of what had been going on, and for them it was finally like validation, like beef's truly squashed. So like that was
it's something that like a lot of people don't really know, that like over time like things could like change, and like that's something that not a lot of people like, they look at life and they could be like, oh, I'm just gonna hate this person for like so long and just not like want to mess with them.
Well, that's how a lot of situations end up. So
that's true.
It's not even wrong for people to think like that.
That's true. It goes both ways.
Look,
but
you took that beef and you cooked it into something beautiful on that desk. You guys made a meal.
Everybody was telling us.
It was a full Thanksgiving meal on that shit, bro.
All right, here we go, boys.
Who's the first one?
Well, here we go. Well, we've got the first person who will be adding in will be coming through in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay.
But I want to start laying the groundwork. All right, so here's the thing.
Let's lay the groundwork.
It's time for lore.
Okay, what's the lore?
So here's the thing. I got a question. Most people, I don't think, actually know where this money match came from. A lot of people on Twitter were like, what is this money match? Where did it come from? And what I am going to give you on this podcast is the 100% complete lore check. I even was listening to what Jersey had going on so I could get a little bit of their perspective, so I can give you all the timeline. Because the thing is, I don't think you can truly savor animosity if you don't know the whole story. How do you feel about that, Callie? Do you feel like we need some lore right now?
Yeah,
I was listening. I was here ready for the lore.
Oh!
I was here waiting.
Yo, I need a bag of popcorn for this shit. Just be sitting in the back. It's like, oh hey.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of this lore. So
yeah,
obviously, this started at a Xanadu monthly back in September.
Correct.
So this is the part that everybody knows. If you have not seen it, there is a beautiful clip in which Giga goes off because he won the monthly. You know, shout out to him. He played well, and he proceeded to beat. Ran through the bracket, and then he got on for a winner's interview. I was the co-commentator on the desk. So I'm on the desk. He's up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sharpie comes up. This man starts going hype. He starts naming names, right? He's calling out Goichi. He's calling out Sonic. But here's the part that matters. He calls out LK and downtown Jersey specifically, right? Now you would think LK was the person he name dropped.
Right.
But he didn't play LK, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from what I had heard is apparently the news got back and the clip made its way to the New Jersey Discord.
Yikes.
And LK laughed, basically. Because LK's like, who are you? I'm not worried about this, right?
Facts. Sage
did not want somebody talking to his sensei that way. He's like, who is this man? He needs to be put down. So he rallied a crew. And a bunch of Jersey players all came down, right? Jersey comes down, comes to the monthly. They play. Giga loses. You know, literally, Jace gets up. He gets on the mic, and he's like, you know what? I just want you guys to know it's going to be an all-Jersey grand final. 7 wins the monthly. MD holds. Sage takes a shot at Giga the next day on Twitter and goes, yo, here's where I beat you in bracket. I'm done with you. It's over. Money match talk starts, right? Because Giga starts talking back. He's like, I am not done with you. Next thing we know, $100 money match on site. Okay, whatever. Then it elevates. $300 money match on site. Let's go. there was talks of this was almost a $500 money match. I don't know if people know that.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was real close to being
high.
a $500 money match, but it didn't end up going that far.
That's rent.
So
that hurts.
So we end up with 300, right?
Okay.
We're all sitting there. It's like going back and forth. Trash talk continues all the way up to this event. Through this event. Hell, they were trash talking during the set. Like, come on now.
Yeah. They were going super crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a little bit of the lore. So the lead up is basically Giga decides to call out Jersey. He calls out a bunch of people. The guy he actually called out went, "Who is this?" and ignored him. And Sage took up the banner instead. Now, I will say, for those of you that think this was fabricated beef, no, this is legitimate beef. Say, Callie, you were there firsthand. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the energy in the room was something.
It was wild.
I gotta ask.
It was something serious.
In any money match that you have ever been present at, has the energy ever been like that?
Well, I am not to say that I'm not, I'm relatively new to the FGC scene, so I've been to plenty of matches, but possibly not as many as people watching this. But in my experience, I would say that I have not seen anything like it. It was super crazy.
Yeah, you can kind of like, I've been to a couple money matches before, like dedicated money matches. It's just in general because I've been around the scene. You could tell the energy in the room, and like we were talking about this way back when you and Faulty were playing. The level of the different type of mentality you have to go into a money match with is so different than a tournament match. It is completely different. And then
it absolutely is.
And the thing is like you could tell like that they just hate each other. They just want to like end the shit. And that's something that you can't replicate. And I can't imagine being in Stamford, Connecticut that night, last night. I could not imagine anything. Yeah, that shit was refreshing to watch.
I was going to say, Soap makes a really good point.
Yeah, Marvel 3 points. Yeah, my matches were big in Marvel 3.
What we saw yesterday, that was sort of that was Marvel thuggery.
That's Marvel.
That's what that was. That was straight Marvel thuggery, and it's funny because we haven't really seen that. Like DBFZ has been
very
basically esports its entire run.
Yeah.
We all like. Have we even gotten another money match like this? Like a real down and dirty, I'm going to annihilate you money match in Dragon Ball.
No, nothing crazy like this. This is honestly, I think this money match is the biggest as far as money put up in Dragon Ball. I actually believe it. Like
now, Marvel heads, the amounts that got thrown around back then, hell, the amounts that get thrown around right now, like even on like the Facebook groups, is like nutty, right? People out there with like 10
for
stats.
Marvel 3?
No, MVC 2.
Okay, Marvel 2. Okay.
Marvel.
I was like, wait. Yeah, but no, like, you know the funny thing was, I want to bring this up. Flux was laughing the entire time, and I'm like, Flux. It was like, it felt like it should. Like, if granted, Coach had top 8 for Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
but
shout out to Coach, man.
Yeah, seriously. But if him and Flux were just in the same room watching that, they would probably look at each other like, "Yo, kids these days."
I mean, Flux was recording it. Like,
he was.
It's like a pass the torch at that point.
And it's like, and that's one of the things where like it's kind of interesting because obviously, you know, people have been incessantly clowning this, right? Like we all know like that's what's been going on. But the one thing I do want to say is, if y'all told me that you did not find that entertaining, you're not being honest with yourselves.
That's very true.
I think that was one of the funnest Dragon Ball sets. And now it wasn't. It was obviously fun for. Now, granted,
Sage had the most fun.
He got blocked. Oh, obviously Sage had the most fun. Now I gotta say, hold on, I'm gonna kick it over here to Callie for a second. Callie, you had some of the most iconic faces
They did.
of the entirety of East Coast Throwdown. And you got the pleasure, the honor of doing post-game interviews. I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk us through it. Talk everyone in the chat through it right now.
So me and Folksy were just watching the match, and then we were watching the chat at the same time. I'd actually just pulled the chat up, and we were watching the chat, and people were in the chat talking about post-game interviews. So we looked at each other, and I was like, all right, rock, paper, scissors. See who does post-game. Best 2 out of 3. So we did it mid-set. We literally top commentated mid-set to do rock, paper, scissors. And I ended up winning 2-0. I low-key smoked him. But that's neither here nor there. But, so I won that honor. So after the match.
Wait, you guys played rock, paper, scissors, shoot to decide who got it?
Yep, we did. Yeah. Because we wanted to do
amazing.
it, So we just did it, old-fashioned way, I mean. So yeah, I ended up interviewing him, and when Sage came up, truthfully and honestly, I wanted to interview Sage, but I was much more interested to hear what Giga had to say.
Right.
Just simply to know what he could possibly say after a situation like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I definitely still wanted to interview Sage. So I got him to come through. I honestly didn't expect anything that he said to come out of his mouth, because he went absolutely crazy.
Dude, he went off like when Gohan died.
Yeah.
he saw Gohan die, and that's what Sage came out.
Yeah, and I've honestly never seen him like that. I've hung out with Sage a few times. I mean, we actually chilled literally like a few hours prior. It was me, him, my boys Kern and V-Star, shout out to them. We all went to a KFC to get food, like hours before the money match, hours before top 8 started, We was just chatting it up. He's a cool guy, They're all cool. Shout out to all of them, He's a cool guy, He's calm, mad humble. I've played him in bracket before, He's humble,
Yeah,
so to see him like,
cool pal.
Yeah, to see him like that, especially after the post-match, it was crazy. He went crazy. I respect it, though. I 100% respect it, because he didn't even initiate it, honestly. If we're being real,
he could have just won that. He could have honestly won that money match really calmly and just walked out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I feel like there was a lot of pent up, and I can tell. And I think you and Faulty did take it professionally. Obviously there were some things that were said. That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other situation.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Before we transition.
Yes.
I've gotta add someone to this call.
Oh, who the fuck are you adding?
So real quick, don't worry guys, your stream is not broken. I'm gonna go ahead and black out the screen for a second. And I've got to go ahead and do some magic real quick.
Callie, what's happening? Callie?
Yo, I'm out here.
Yo, are you trying to match 5L through this?
Yeah, bro, you already know. That's my shit.
Yo. No.
Hello?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
No.
Is he here?
Way.
Yeah.
No way.
This is guest number 1, by the way.
What?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's Papa 7?
Uh-oh. Yes. Oh.
Oh?
Hello?
Hey, fellas.
Oh! No way!
Yo, what's up? Yo, Collie, bro.
Yo.
How you doing, son? How you doing,
I'm sorry
Collie?
I spoiled it, but holy shit!
Yo, that's OD. What's going on, bro? This is the first time I've ever heard this man's voice. That's crazy.
How y'all doing, son? How y'all doing?
Wait, Papa 7? Is it safe to come out?
How y'all doing out here? How you
Is it safe
doing, chat? How we doing?
How?
Man, Soap was in the chat. My whole moves were on. Soap was in the chat.
7. I just talked to you earlier, and I asked you if it's safe to come outside, and you told me no.
Nah, it still ain't safe to come out. So you see Twitter? That shit's awful.
I am actually genuinely shocked.
Yeah, It's fucking awful out there on Twitter right now, bro. Every time I go out there, I just got somebody laughing at me. I didn't even do nothing.
All right,
It's real in the Twitter streets.
Jay, you got talk me through this.
So, I got a message earlier from a legend of our community.
True.
And he was like, put me in, coach. And I said, I gotta do it to this man. This man said he wanted a platform. And I figured, what better place when we've got the voice of the people, Cali Mac, Grandmaster FloKey, DBZ coordinator for Maryland, and I wear it proudly, JDiesel, and now we've got 7. I mean, what kind of, that's a beautiful quartet right there.
Hands in the pocket.
Yeah, that's actually OD.
In the pocket.
Yo, man.
I just want to go on the record to say yesterday was a travesty.
All right, so here we go now, boys. So 7, I didn't vet you at all. None of this is pre-recorded. None of this is planned. All you asked me for was a platform.
Oh, no.
Here it is. 7. You said you had words you needed to share with these people, and I'm giving it to you.
All right.
Take it away, my man.
Bracing myself.
So, I just want to start off with the situation with DBFZ right now. I'm calling DMV because I know somebody's out there watching that does not like it being called MDVA. He's not.
Oh my God.
We're gonna call it DMV. But pretty much, yesterday was sad. I'm not gonna hold you. Yesterday was awful. Like that was. And what is this? What is the stream rating?
You know what? You can say anything but the N word. So we'll go one level below Arturo stream.
All right. I'm not gonna hold you guys. Giga got his back blown out yesterday. Like bad.
It was
like he got that shit bad. I'm sorry, son. My man's may actually have to. He may have to go
see
like he may have to go in the shadows for that one. Like my man's and then that post game interview, Carly, why, son? Why'd you keep acting him more, man? Why? You knew what he was doing, man. Why?
Yeah, I was just trying to get to the bottom of what was going on. You feel me?
You kidding?
I would actually.
Inspector Cali, man.
I gotta jump in on this one. As a commentator, I entirely respect what Cali Mac did. I know people said it was whack that that Giga was let on, but I will say, as a commentator, you remember the situation with Blizzard where people were like, where the commentators chose to let the players speak, and we just had the China incident with that.
Yes.
I think as a commentator, up to a point, let the players speak. They have earned the right to be there, either by winning a national tournament or showing up to put up in front of one of the largest money matches we've ever seen. I think he deserved.
I mean, to be honest, he was kind of like a day late.
All right,
that was one of the
all right.
issues of the
Talk us through it, 7. Because 7, you look like you got some things to say right now. Talk to us, baby.
All right.
I'm much talk.
So, Kali said it perfectly. He said, my man 7 is like chilling right now because as he said, like if you say anything about this, it's just gonna get worse. So I just all right, that happened to him. We gotta accept that he got fucked up. However, Maryland wasn't accepting that. They got fucked up. Like they didn't accept that shit. So I'm not gonna explain what happened to the chat, but people weren't happy, and we was kind of fighting amongst ourselves. Excuse me, I wasn't fighting amongst anybody. I was watching them fight amongst themselves. I got people saying they was about to like rock people on site, call each other. People calling each other.
Come on, 7. I had literally one
sorry,
rule.
Bro, I'm sorry.
One rule, 7.
Yeah, 7.
Dudes calling each other like, yo, what are you scared of shit? Like, what's wrong with you? And like, pretty much the play's in shambles. Jay saw it, I saw it, Mill saw it, everybody saw it. And then to top it off, everybody was like, we gotta get stronger. And I'm just like, how you gonna get stronger but y'all getting upset on a loss that didn't happen to y'all? Right. Like you guys are getting offended that somebody else lost. Like, why are you acting like you just lost 300? Like, I don't understand that.
Right.
Like, I could understand, like, if you came through, you bet money on him and lost. I mean, me personally, I probably wouldn't bet on him. I'm just, I wouldn't bet on him.
Oh no.
Okay, look, you guys may not appreciate me on that, but wait, any of you guys bet on him?
No.
I had no
money betting against
come
him,
on
so.
now.
Actually, the only person who had a bet in this chat regarding that match was actually Calimac. Calimac, what was your bet? Because you discussed it on stream.
I bet with my boy Kite. Shout out to Kite. We were both at the venue, both at the commentator's table. And I bet with him $5. I said it was gonna be 10-1. He said 10-2.
Well, you got your $5.
CT lost twice.
I mean, technically, if we're going by like technicalities, Kylie did get it because he kind of got one.
Actually, that's actually a question that I've been.
Let's talk about that arcade. Let's talk about that arcade.
Actually, this is a good question because I think there's been a lot of discussion about this, right?
Right.
So there's two facets to this. One, there's the accusation that Giga unplugged his stick. Now, what I will say to this, and this is the only thing that I'll say about this, we have no proof either way. And the thing for me that makes me that made me think no way is one, the stick's got unplugged multiple times throughout the set. And literally they said they keep stomping, they keep moving around.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was literally said by Arturo, who was a neutral third party watching this, which leads me to believe they were probably popping off and it got unplugged, right? That's what I think. I don't like this narrative being peddled that, he unplugged. Because here's the thing. You wouldn't do it in a game where you were winning. And
that is the thing, because he was definitely winning during that match. When the
honestly,
me and Fulton said that on the camera.
Yeah, and I agreed with you on that. Like, now, I gotta say, if it had been a game where he's one touch away from death and the stick gets unplugged, and he goes, I just gotta shrug it up, bro. I don't know what happened. All right, I would understand.
Okay, maybe it's a little funny money. It's a little whoa.
Right, and then maybe
exactly. It's one of those situations.
It doesn't sit with me. And also, while yes, people you want to cloud Giga whatever, I do not think at all for a second he is the type of player who would do something like that. So that is one piece of criticism that I personally, unless some damning side footage comes out from one of the people in the crowd or something, let it lie. You don't know either way. That's how I feel. Now, the different question that was asked. In a money match, your opponent disconnects, pauses for whatever reason. Do you take a W in a first to 10?
Absolutely. What?
No, people were arguing about this all day on Twitter. People were saying it was disrespectful. I'm like, what are you talking? You are playing for money. This is not about honor. We are not like knights by trial. This is not chivalry. You are here to beat another man down and take his money. All right, you take those. That's how I feel about it.
W, man.
Can I get a motherfucking
Say, ain't my fault you playing. Ain't my fault you playing, bro. Get with the times.
Honestly,
get a wireless arcade stick. That'd be hard.
Oh, wait, they already had that, right? The Tekken 6 joint for the 360.
Don't talk about
that joint is gonna lag like crazy.
I guess you guys forgot about that one.
Exactly. That's relic.
Yeah, because actually, Calimac, you would have lost your bet against Kite if Giga had taken the second pause as a W.
Yeah, right.
But he chose not to.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, you're ever in that situation, I don't care why they paused. I'm taking that game. That's just the way that it is. And honestly, you would have lost on that, Cali. But that's the other thing that kind of cemented it for me too. Hey, a second pause comes out. He didn't even take that game.
I would took every last one.
Absolutely, because there were actually a few. There were at least two more pauses.
Yeah, it would have been 10-4. 10-4 would have been the score if he took every pause.
That's crazy.
That's a very different looking score, actually. That's actually kind of wild.
Just
in hindsight,
imagine the way it happened, though. It's like, damn, you really only got the W off of disconnects.
Look, if my opponent voluntarily disconnected 10 games in a set to give me the dubs, I'm taking my $300 and I'm doctoring my pride with it. All right, that's all I'm saying, right? Like dab me out. But anyways, Cali Mac, we were actually just right before we got this immense man 7 on here. We were about to talk about post game interviews.
Right.
And so Cali,
please, I can't. Just take the beers off the screen, man. I can't even look at it. I'm so mad. Take the beers off. Please take the beers off. Replace that joint with like Trunks, man. Please.
Yo, we need Trunks.
Take the
all right,
beers
hold on.
off.
I have every DBZ character in this folder. So
yeah, just.
All right.
Just
All right.
It's been
replaced.
I can't look at it, son.
Yo.
Like, son, when my man's literally fried him by saying you play beers, I felt that.
He's like, yo, I play
cooked for playing.
Yo, 7.
Beers.
Yo, 7. He's like, yo, listen, man. I play Hitting Cooler. Yo, I feel that.
So, yeah, I feel that. I said, damn.
Yo, as a Gogeta player,
at least I can actually put my hands up when it comes time.
I can throw a DP if I need it, but no, Cali Mac, talk to us about those post game interviews.
My bad. Before we get to that, can I just ask 7 a question real quick?
Yo, take it away, Cali.
Yo, bro. Yo, was Giga calling you during the match?
No. We got an answer.
She was not calling me, son.
We got an answer to this in chat. Actually, the mystery's been. You got Twitter. You got to put your memes away for 5 seconds. We actually know the answer to this now. It was not 7.
Thank God.
It was actually Kelso 2 times. And Giga did not make a call. Giga got called. So for those of you that think like he was not making a call, he actually received a call.
It
was
and I.
Yo, please, someone quick screen cap that. No, but you know the crazy thing was 7 was in a Discord with me, Khalil, and Soap while all this was going down.
7, are you trying to add more emotes for Cali Mac right now? Look,
believe me, I'm waiting.
Yo, 7, can you give me some? I need some.
Kelso, what did you tell? Kelso, what did you tell him? I know you in the chat, son. What did you tell him?
I too would also love to know this.
Honestly, okay, let's not dwell on it too long. But basically, he was like, "No, hey, basically look, you're falling apart. You gotta get this together." Basically, that's it. Basically, you were playing good. Now, because honestly, if you watch the first 3 games, if you only watch those, right, there was at least signs of life, right? And then after that,
there was.
It felt. I think that's fair.
Sage downloaded them. Like that was it.
Right.
Bro, he literally flipped his way to victory. Like he literally. Oh God, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh my God! All right, I gotta share this because it's actually kind of funny. Literally phoned a friend when he should have chose the 50-50.
Oh, you look Twitter. whoever in here is like a meme lord. Y'all know what the next meme is, bro. Get that phone a friend meme up there on Giga, son.
Oh, somebody said with the Jeopardy. Yo, set up the Jeopardy stage.
Yeah, set up the Jeopardy joint, son. Set up that joint.
That sounds that's.
You said block high, block low, phone a friend. You said take the hit.
So, all right, we'll make it one day. But Cali Mac.
He said, "Who wants to be a millionaire?"
Post.
Change that to "Who wants to get mixed?"
Interview. Talk to us about. Actually, I want you to talk about Sage's first. Talk about Sage's first, because hit it. Take it away, Cali. I trust you. Guide us.
Yeah, so I called him over, and he sat down. I really only had a couple questions to ask him. I asked him how he was feeling. He told me. He exploded because a lot of people couldn't even see it, but Gigaitachi was on the side watching Sage get interviewed, and he was kind of still talking trash, like on the side while I'm trying to interview him, like trying to talk over what I was saying and trying to talk to Sage. And I think that's why Sage really exploded. A lot of people couldn't really see it or hear that, but he didn't just explode out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Wait,
like,
so he was antagonizing him off screen during the interview?
yeah, like Sage was talking at one point, and then Giga was like, "Is that all you got to say? Is that it?" And I was like, "Wow."
Oh no.
I'm just like, oh, wow, we still going.
Oh.
So yeah, he was kind of antagonizing Sage, and that's why I think Sage really
dude.
exploded. He really turned into Trunks, like literally, like it was kind of crazy.
Yo, when he fought Goku Black or whatever, and like the man's went rage mode.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. When you guys were interviewing Sage and they panned the camera over to like Gigaitachi just standing right there, so I was losing that. It just looks so goofy. He's like, oh, yuck.
He said, yuck.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's
mad
so
funny.
many situations in that. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
I mean, good camera work can do wonders. That's kind of how I feel about it. Now that was interview number 1, which actually you provided some much needed context to that because I had no idea that was going on.
Yeah, same.
This is exactly why I wanted to have the commentators on.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hear, because honestly, in my opinion, spectators are good for giving like kind of their views on what happened during a match, but commentators, especially when they get to do the interview, I know what that's like. You see everything, and that's why I wanted to get you up and down.
Yeah. I'm like right there. People around me looking at it. You know, we got the camera right in our face. Like I was guys next to me. Like I seen everything. You know what I mean, it was wicked.
Take us.
Oh no.
Take us to the future, Callie. I need you. And you got to remember, I don't care how deep it's locked away right now. I need you to take us to interview number 2. Gigaitachi post 1st to 10 on the mic.
To explain that one. Me personally,
Callie, I want you to. I don't want you to. Most of us know what he said. You can summarize a little bit of it, but I want you to talk us through what you were feeling, because I've seen the memes, and the memes. Your face was popping. You were expressive. You look like Walt Disney was like trying out some new sketches, right? Like you had some expressive ass faces. Like
oh yeah, Kylie. Since we're on that 1 and 4, it's between 1 and 4 for the ones you chose.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. FloKey told me 1 before too, before we started. Yeah.
Yo, me and Seven on the same wavelength.
It's like the 1 and 4 is too fucking good, son.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure it out.
Hands in my pocket, bro. Hands in my pocket.
Nah, but yeah. So I let me just say that after like the first sentence, like he got on. I asked him how he was feeling, and he said, "I felt cheated." At that point, I just thought like, "Yo, I'm just gonna get my memes in."
So you
like
knew. Literally
every one of those faces were playing, bro. Like I knew exactly. Like once he said that, I was like, I know exactly what's about to happen. let me get ready. Like I could already tell off of how he handled that first sentence. You know what I mean? And it just and it just went downhill from there. It was crazy, and he just wouldn't concede. Like honestly, if he just conceded, took his L, was like, I'll get better next time. Right. I think it would have been received
way better.
Much better.
Yeah. Much better. Because I remember when you and FloKey played for the first time, and and I forget who interviewed you guys.
Yeah.
But y'all, again, I bring this back to that. This is a really good example of like professionally, like FloKey popped off on you or whatever, right? But like you literally said, I'm gonna come back next time. And like you literally just was like, I took the L and walked.
Yeah, facts.
So, yeah. So, feel like you're cheating. So you had the plan, like on lockdown.
Yeah. So once I heard that first sentence, I already knew. Yo, I'm gonna look at the camera. Yo, you can actually see it. Like after like the first face, I moved my do-rag so you can see my eyes. And then I started making more faces. Like I was
let the limiter off. He almost let the limiter off.
Yeah, almost. I couldn't do that though. I want to destroy the venue.
Yeah,
but
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Nah, but so I was just enjoying myself at that point. I didn't like. I don't want to say that I meant to lead him on. Like, I was just asking questions, and the answers were confusing me. So I was trying to get more insight.
Right.
I really wasn't trying to lead him on or like, trying to paint him out as a villain or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Actually,
I
I
was confused.
Yeah, you was trying to stay neutral. I respect it.
I
Man.
I was
that
confused. I was
situation,
just trying to figure out.
how the fuck do I stay neutral?
No, I definitely
Yeah,
agree
exactly.
with that. One of the things, as somebody from Maryland, right? One of the things that I will say to this match's credit is, I felt like your commentary and Faulty as well. I think you guys did a very good job of remaining impartial. And I think you did a good job of keeping the viewers engaged, keeping a narrative. Even when the score was, very lopsided, you still kept the energy. And then you finally called it bus ass, but you guys didn't do that until like 9 or 10 games in, right?
Yeah, it was definitely like 9 or 10 games in.
And you know what?
9-1, it was like,
And I thought during your interview, I agree with that. As somebody who Giga is from my region, I did not feel like anything you did was an attack or was a bait or anything like that. I do genuinely feel like you went ahead and you gave him the space as a player to talk, and then he took it the directions that he did. But I will say, at least from your end, I did not see any type of, anything that felt like a trap, right? Anything that was like, let me meme the hell out of this guy. Now, I think once you realized what it was going to be, you did what you did. But I can safely say, talking to you, I don't think that was ever your intent.
No,
it
wasn't at mouse. Was that mouse?
And honestly, I'm first off, shouts to Arturo and if you follow that stream, NYC Furby, he held it down.
Seriously,
we were in just a little black backstory real quick. While we were waiting for Giga, we were trying to figure out where we're gonna do it. We were in the lobby with a PS4 and a monitor in the lobby. So like a whole bunch of us, at least 10, 15 people in the lobby with this one setup waiting for this man. We was looking kind of crazy. And I do not know if we would have been able to stay in the lobby or even in the hotel if we had conducted the whole money match in that lobby, because it got real, But then one of the guys who was a TO at the ECT, Zaul, shout out to my boy Zaul, he went to the arcade room and asked Arturo, yo, we got a money match, $300. You trying to let us stream it? And Arturo was like, yeah, sure, pull up. He held it down. Know what I mean? So we ended up in a room. We got our own room. Me and Faulty had the commentators table. It was set up professionally, They had their whole setup. It was really good. It was really good. So I want to shout out Arturo. But I just didn't know what the stream etiquette was in that situation, because the entire time prior, me and Faulty, we weren't keeping it PG, you know what I mean? But we were keeping it a level below what Giga was taking it to, you know what I mean?
Obviously, yeah.
So it was like, and Arturo wasn't saying nothing to us. So, I'm sure if we were doing too much, he would have, told us.
You were looking for direction on what to do there.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Especially you're thrown in that situation. Like you were just like, hey.
Especially since, I've commentated once at Bum. So this is literally my second time ever commentating anything, you know what I mean? So it's like I wasn't really sure what to expect or what to do, you know what I mean? I was just thrown into it, and I just tried to make the best that I could. It was actually Arturo that cut the mic when Giga, started going.
Yeah, you could hear him off stream saying he was gonna cut the mic.
Yeah. So he cut it at that point, and it was just like, at that point I just dipped.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. Yeah, like art and like we were talking about this on Khalil stream and just like a bunch in general. And I think stream etiquette is like huge because you don't know what kind of stream you're jumping onto.
Right.
I'm not saying like anything bad about Bums, but like the vibe at Bums is definitely a different vibe than you go on a hard stream or a spooky.
Yeah, G-Sports.
Exactly. Like, like if you try to go to like spooky stream and do that kind of stuff, that ain't gonna work.
I can say from Xanadu, no, you would not be.
Exactly.
PG Boot Camp would not allow that.
Yeah. The thing is like you have to like gauge your audience. That's why it's like really important that if you're jumping on a stream or something like that, and I know it's hard, and it's just like Yeah, get heat of the moment kind of thing. It's really hard to get. It's hard to gauge. It's really like.
Yeah, but you know what? This is something that, this is, like I said, it's my second time ever commentating.
Exactly. Like, nothing on you. Like, you did what you could.
Right.
Like 100%, like 120%.
You look to the person, you look to the streamer for direction.
And
in a situation like that, that's more or less all you can do. But anyways,
exactly.
Let's talk about post game. So the interviews are done. Anything else that we did not catch as the stream was winding down?
Yeah, so Arturo was taking down the set. Sage left. Like, immediately after he put the mic down and finished his interview, he literally just out with his boys. They left. I presume they left the venue and just, went about their business,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's just me, Faulty, a whole bunch of my boys, because they was all there watching. So, it's all of us just chilling at the commentator's table. We got pizza. And I mean, we trying to, help out Arturo or whatever, finish packing up or whatever. We was just out there chilling. So, then Giga comes up to us like, yo, straight up, what do you think I went wrong? What can I do to do better? Just straight up.
So he actually,
like, just straight up.
He came straight up to you guys and was like, hey, what can I do better?
Yeah. Like straight up. And I think, like, you can see the expression in his face, like, as we went on and talked, because I actually had to catch a train and leave, so I only stayed for about 5-10 minutes. I don't know how long he was talking to them after, how long they stayed together.
Yeah.
But for the little short time that I was with him, I could kind of see his expression change. And I don't even think the loss really hit him until we were breaking it down for him. Honestly, like, I think it was at that point, like, it was really hitting him. Because he actually said something as I was leaving. I was like, yo, I'm out, man. Yo, just got to try again harder next time. Now, I mean, whatever. He was like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I kind of got washed. And I was like, wow. Because that was completely opposite from the demeanor he was showing on stream in the interview. You know what I'm saying?
10-20 minutes ago, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that kind of took me aback.
Really?
When he came off like that.
That's like a 180. That's weird.
Yeah, so
that entire set, even from start to finish, yeah, I guess he thought it was still going on or something, but he just wasn't fazed by like the 10-0 that he took.
What I will say though is Stream Giga's confidence is actually unbreakable.
Oh no, yeah, that means
like
I said it on stream too. Yeah, I 100% respect
like,
that.
Normally, I'm normally disparaging players who like get down on themselves after losing one game. But if you tell me that most people have the mental fortitude to be down 8 games and still look like they're popping, good luck. You'll find like maybe 2 players who can do that. Like, and that was like, but I can kind of see. So you're saying that it didn't really hit him until
like just from my
the
perspective,
match.
it seemed like because once he started calming down, people started leaving, and it was just us telling him, what happened and how he can improve and stuff. Right. I really felt like it was there where it was really starting to hit him, like what had happened, and sometimes it takes some time, the adrenaline was pumping,
right?
He was popping off beyond the match, so I'm sure he was still in hype mode until Sage left the room and the stream got cut off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Party's over.
Yeah, party's over. And he drove a long way to get there too. Like
it's 6 hours. So like that man drove 12 hours that day. He drove 6. He drove more than that because he accidentally drove to Pennsylvania first because I guess he looked up ECT from last year. He drove to the venue from last year.
That's actually kind of yikes.
So he drove to the wrong, like the people who were saying that he was ducking, this man, he just actually, now granted, this is not a great excuse, but he legitimately just drove to the wrong ECT venue.
I was like, can I be real?
No, that's exactly it, man.
So when I saw on Twitter, the dude thought he was not, Philly was Connecticut.
No, he. If you look at ECT from last year,
it was in Jersey, and that makes sense. So like, my brain was like, at that moment, I was like, "Yo, this man Giga really out here saying some wild shit." Unless he has a valid excuse why.
Yeah. So he drove to the wrong venue, and then realized it was in Connecticut. And then, which, you know, I will give him credit for this. And the man actually did show up at that point. He did show up and play.
He did.
Regardless of all the clownery. This man played. This man sat on the sticks. He took his beating, and he handed over his money. And,
just went home after.
I mean, and, actually, Seven, I'm going to kick it over to you.
What's up?
Seven, how do you feel in the...
Don't
as this played out?
Don't answer that question, bro.
Not gonna, all right, not even
Please
gonna
don't
answer
that
it.
question.
All right, I'm asking.
No, go ahead. No. Just matter of fact, go ahead. Let me let you finish the question. I just heard, how do you feel? Let me just go ahead.
Because
go ahead.
this is a bit of a broader question. So I wanted to ask how, you obviously watched the match play out, and you're obviously the strongest player in our region. Now, for those of you that don't know, I do want to clarify this real quick, because I saw a lot of kind of information going out on Twitter. Because I have you guys have all seen the PRZ image?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, a lot of people just kind of assume that number one or whatever your number is what order you are in just terms of raw strength in the region. That is not true. That is, the numbers and the rankings themselves are a metric based on tournament results. So, Big Bag Mill is the number one rated PRZ player in the region. That is true.
Right.
Big Bag Mill is not the strongest player in the region. I don't think Mill would disagree with me if he were to respond to me. That's not the case. Seven is the strongest player in the region. He is the only person I would put on a national power level within our region. Only one.
Bars.
Right. I will. Anyone in MDVA wants to change my mind about that, show up and show me. But it's not there.
Mm.
So,
I respect that.
Let's go 7.
That's why, as you know, for me, for those of you who don't know, I am the community manager for Dragon Ball in MDVA. Most people here probably have no idea. All of you who are watching, and it's a lot of you now, probably have no idea who I am. I am the community manager for Dragon Ball at Xanadu Games, and I work with both the Maryland region and the Virginia region. The reason the PRZ says MDVA is specifically so that way it would not be confusing for people who are outside of our region. That's why it says MDVA. Now, we are the DMV. That is also correct. A lot of older players in our region call it the DMV because that's what it is locally known as.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of animosity, whatever, over this issue. Both groups are using the correctly, and I can understand why both groups want to use the other term, but both are valid. I do want to state that, but to different groups, they're gonna want different things, right? And so I understand if you're out of the region why you say that. Take it away, Seven.
Yeah, that whole DMV, MDVA is. I understand the person who was getting hella upset over it. I understand why he's upset over it, but it's to outsiders, they don't, as you said, they don't really know. So you can't be upset at him like that.
Now I will ask people though is if it is not too much trouble to use the DMV. Now this is coming from somebody in the region. I would prefer DMV. I don't think that's too much of an ask. If you choose not to use it and you're going to use MDVA, I personally am not going to take that as a slight. I would prefer you to use DMV if it's not too much trouble. I personally am not going to come at you sideways about it. It doesn't matter that much. DMV, MDVA, whatever, as long as you're respectful about it. Now, if you're that's it. What do you, Seven?
I can understand, why people call it MDVA outside, because it's when they think of the DMV, they think of that motor vehicle police.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's really unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do understand that being an issue, because I understand outside of Maryland, you all call it the DMV. Where you obviously go to get your car and your registration.
Yeah, you guys call it the DMV.
Yeah.
It's when you think of going to Maryland, you think about I'm about to go to the DMV. And you're like, what? But I can understand why people call it MDVA.
Yeah.
Me personally, it doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, you're probably going to be there, or we know what you're talking about. It's not that serious. I know exactly. I differentiate, change it. Well, You know,
Yeah,
why,
but
why
also,
the
if you tell somebody from this region they can't call, don't tell people from this region they cannot call it the DMV because you call it the MDVA, because both are correct. Older players use the term DMV. I use
Right.
the term MDVA because I wanted to make it easier for people
Okay.
outside of our region to understand what they were looking at.
Right.
As a community manager, that's why I did what I did.
Yeah, like me and you, like I was talking to you earlier about this, Jay, and like as someone that's outside the region,
Yes.
and I think it's important that you use both. Like for me, like if one comes out, I'm not like
Be respectful. Honestly, I think it just boils down to be respectful to people. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
like I mean, here's the
True.
thing. At the end of the day, we are all playing Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
That's it. That is all that is going on. We are all just playing Dragon Ball and sitting there and, there's no need to get so heated about it. Like, you take an
Yeah.
L, you take an L. You either
And you
get
walk.
stronger or you bitch about it, and then you hold that, though. Okay,
Yeah,
those
you
are
have
your
to-
two
you
gonna have
options.
to bring
You have
like
to
a-
physically hold that.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't. It never needs to elevate about that, literally at all, for any
Right.
reason.
You're gonna have to bring like the megaphone to the next monthly for that one.
No,
Bruh,
it-
yo, please, I need a meme of Jay Diesel with a megaphone and
Bro,
just
yeah,
yell,
y'all want to talk about memes? Hey, Jay, bring that meme up I made today.
I
Yo.
will, and because here's the thing.
Oh, that shit is so good.
Now, what I
Is
will
it-
say
that
is,
he-
I love and I respect my region through and
Facts.
through.
Oh, of
And
course,
I
100%.
and I understand that to a lot of people outside my region, they're passing all kinds of judgment right now. They are looking at our region, they're going MDVA's trash, blah 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 blah. I've seen everything up and down across the board on Twitter, in streams. I was in almost every single DBFZ stream today. Almost
Truth.
every single one. I was all over Twitter today. Because
You
this is my
you wanna
scene.
Know why? You want to know why they was acting like
And
that?
you know what? I get it. I 100% get it. But I'm just saying, this is the scene that I care about. And yes, Gigaitachi went out there and he popped off and he did not represent himself with decorum. He didn't. Now,
Oh, yeah, he got fucked.
Mm.
he did. And that was not the best look for him. Now, what is a better look for him is the fact that, as Cali Max said, after that money match, he walked off and the first thing he said is, "What did I do wrong? How can I get better?" And
I think
that is
that's
the
huge.
mentality that is for my region. That money match between those two, that was beef between Gigaitachi and that was beef between Sage. And you know what? They settled it on the sticks. They played it out. And that's what it was. MDV,
No, absolutely.
our region, the DMV, is going to work hard, get stronger, and is going to try to come back. Not in this way. Through a proper growth as a community, strengthening each
Right.
other. Because
Good.
I want people who can take L's and grow from it. And that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. As someone that's an outsider, and hearing all this stuff and the way you and Seven, and I got referenced this a lot. I keep bringing up close stream, but literally I brought this up like 3 times during close stream. Like Seven and JDiesel and Sharpie have been putting in so much work in terms of putting together Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball, when Jay brought up the initial idea for PRZ, I knew his numbers were slowing down.
Mm.
So, in an essence, Jay revived Dragon Ball down there.
Yep, he gave a reason for people to fight.
Exactly.
He
So
gave a very good reason.
exactly. So it's like one of those situations that you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
What I want to say is, and this is the other thing, I don't do a single thing that I do with any expectation of getting anything out of it. I do everything that I do for the love of my community, and because all I wanted, the whole reason I did the PRZ, that I set up the Discord, that I have taken that I started this podcast with FloKey. is because I wanted to create a place where the players in my region could show up, play Dragon Ball, and improve as a community. That is the only goal I have ever had in every damn thing I have ever done in this game. That is it. It's not about clout. It's not about numbers. It's about creating a better community that I want to be a part of. Because I believe if you're going to be a part of something and you don't do your damnedest to make it as good as you can, then why are you bothering? All the way in, all the way out. And that's how I feel about it. And yeah, so for me, this was a sad day. But you know what? Because someone in my community, they went, they played, and they got beat. And am I happy about that? No, I'm not happy about that. But what I am happy about is that people in my community are coming together and are like, hey, we're going to improve. We're going to do better. And I hope this serves as fire. I hope this serves as the gasoline, the tinder to ignite a greater spark in the people who are in my community who are playing and who have that desire to get better. And that's what I care about.
Yeah, like, seriously, like, I've referenced every time you've brought up your scene in this podcast, the level of professionalism has been immaculate. The level of passion is big. Like, there's things I've wanted to do for New England because of you. Like real shit. Like real shit. Like when we talked about this podcast initially at NEC, actually last year, I knew something was going to happen from it that's going to affect both of our scenes. And I 100% agree with all the other statements that you said. And just don't bite the hand that feeds you. And,
absolutely.
And
100%,
yeah, if you do, then what's the point of trying to go out? Like, there's a lot of people that made mistakes, and they've grown from it. And we hope that's the thing that happens with this. I can't talk for everybody that's in the MDBA scene or DMV scene.
Hey,
but
you know what? And that's the thing. There was no malice in a single thing you said. Like, and that's the thing. As long as players, we are giving respect to each other, that's it. That's the basis for communication with one another. Whether you're from the HOC, whether you're from West Coast, whether you're from Florida, whether you're from Texas, it does not matter. We have had people on this podcast from across this country. I do not care. You call me at each other with respect, and respect is given back. That's all you need. That's it.
Exactly.
Nothing more, nothing less. And actually, because you know what? 7 wasn't enough. I actually have one more guest who's coming on to this podcast.
Bless up.
And we're about to do it right now.
Bless up.
So, we're going dark for a second, boys.
No.
Oh,
not again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who this is.
Papa 7. Papa 7.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who this is, bro.
Papa 7, you know who this is?
I don't know who it is. I'm actually trying to see who this is.
Look, can we... Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Holy fucking shit.
You know, you gotta let it ring
Let's
for a little
go,
bit.
Is that?
You gotta let it ring for a little bit.
There we go.
This is like my first interaction, bruh.
Hi, FloKey.
What's going on? We haven't met ever.
I watch people on Twitter, but
it's great
to see what you're doing up there.
Thank you. Seriously. I mean, likewise.
Lit.
Is my camera on?
Your camera is not on.
Oh no!
Oh,
wait,
yo, can we talk about how 7's just in the middle? Just
7 is lording above the rest of us right now. This man is like.
It's for the better, son. It's for the better.
Now we see you.
You see this here?
Oh, it's the queen.
Okay, are we there? Am I here?
That is. This was a. Yo, stop! You listen. Should I tell you now? I punished every single cooler dive kick recently with 2H.
I'm so proud.
Bless up.
No, but can the people see at home who it is?
Oh, they can see.
Yeah, we can see
they can see it on stream. Oh, I'm liking this cooler statue right now.
Yeah,
The
son,
cooler
yo,
statue's
I
hot.
promise you, right after I won that tournament, I pre-ordered this shit immediately.
No,
I said, you know, so I deserve this for all the hard work I did, for all the Kid Buu unseeable mix-ups that I somehow blocked. I deserve this shit. 100%.
no, but we gotta talk about.
Skullgirls? Playing
No,
Skullgirls?
Oh my God!
Damn. Were you proud of you? Were you proud of me that I said that?
Yeah.
Were you proud of me? I was like,
I
I was
appreciate
playing
it, Flo.
Skullgirl. No, but please welcome to the podcast, Sharpie. This is one of So Jay put it really best. But for those who might not know you, Sharpie, can you give the people at home some context?
What's the TLDR introduction for the Purple Sharpie?
Long story short. Besides play Skullgirls.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? You guys probably know me from Twitter. I tell people to play Skullgirls all the time. What you may not know is I actually ran the now kind of retired Skullgirls tour. I also am one of the co-founders of Combo Queens. I run it with Carolyn, otherwise known as Mama Dow, and Emily, otherwise known as Jamillion. And I also run every single FGC event at Xanadu Games. So, hey, what's up? It's me, the Purple Sharpie, play Skullgirls.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I was on a little podcast with like some dude named Yipes and Chris Matrix, and I said, I'm just saying, like,
I appreciate
what
such
did
a
I say?
high roller guest gracing our podcast.
Like,
I don't
can we
know.
talk about? Wait. Can we say
I
Sharpie
wouldn't
is
say
the
anything, but the crown is like just.
Sharpie is the only person that has appeared on both the No Frills and the Under the Radar podcast.
Takes
crazy.
that distinction. Let's go.
That's crazy.
That's legendary.
I think that
OD.
says more about me than either of the podcasts. Because the podcast allowed me on. That's craziness. I don't know why. I'm just a Skullgirls player.
It is actually so. Callie Mac.
Mhm.
How you feeling, Callie?
I was gonna say we can't be boxing this man out. So Callie,
How you feeling, my guy?
Callie, you've heard a lot of stuff said. I mean, obviously, I laid it on a little bit talking about my community and stuff like that. Talk to us. How do you feel about all? First off, were you expecting this quad call here at the jump?
No, it's super lit. Yo, shout out to Sharpie. I appreciate you 100,000%. Feel me? She actually hit me up a little earlier, and I mean, let me know how she messed up with the commentary, and I mean, and that I didn't expect it. It came out of nowhere, yo. Like I was like, oh,
no, take it
I'm
away.
So sorry, brother. You did so great on commentary. I really mean that. I know I said that privately and publicly, but brother, you fucking killed it.
Yo, no, I really appreciate that for real.
Because I know how it is when you get those players in your face, and then the streamer's just like, "Don't let it die, don't let it die." You know, I can see it too. You did a great job. I am so proud of the way that you conducted yourself in those interviews.
Oh, it's lit. I appreciate that for real.
Yo, he hit 5LL the entire time.
Yo!
Like,
That's all I needed.
Look,
Yo,
you had
for
to
real.
track down the good commentary. That's what you did. That tracking, dude. You hunted it down.
Nah,
All
yeah.
right. So,
but
Callie,
Yeah.
how do you feel about some of the stuff that's been said here? Because obviously, this was a deeper dive. This was about some stuff. Talk to us, man.
No, I mean, I feel like the community. I feel like a lot of stuff got blown out of proportion. I feel like Twitter just perpetuated a whole lot of hoopla, and some of it was funny, some of it was unnecessary. But you know, at the end of the day, that's what happens when such a high-profile money match, you know, comes to fruition like that, and the way that it was handled, and this, that, and the
Very
third.
true.
You know, it's just it all led up to this. You know, so the highs and the lows. But I can't say I'm very grateful for it happening, despite all the hoopla, because it was enjoyable. You know what I mean? It was being there at the actual spot, watching everything happen. Despite everything, it was enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable.
All right.
And yeah,
That's the thing. Now, Sharpie, you have graced us with your presence. Now, I got to imagine tiara and all. You've got some things you might want to share. So
I actually do.
I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick it over to you. I'm gonna let
just
you
gonna
take
brace
us.
myself.
I appreciate that.
Spin us
I
a
appreciate
tale.
that.
Let's get it.
So, the most important thing to remember about me for the purposes of this conversation is that I do run all of the FGC events at Xanadu Games right now in Laurel Park. I am the FGC TO for Xanadu Games right now.
Right.
And one of the first things that happened regarding, I want to start back with the PRZ because JDiesel, you know, and a couple of other people local may know, but you approached me. You're like, Sharpie, what can I do? Because our numbers are dwindling.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair here because I don't like using the term dead because I come from Skullgirls and people called my game that all the time. It's very rude. It's disgusting to say about any community, especially the people that play those games.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than you're still actively working on a game. It's like, why are you playing that? It's dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to keep away from that negative connotation, but the entry numbers in Dragon Ball at Xanadu were going down. Like they were in the single digits, the low single digits. You know what I mean? Like there were some times where we had to actually cancel the tournament because we didn't have enough people. And so it was getting to that point, and you came out and you're like, yo, Sharpie, what can I do to help my community right now? Like you did Skullgirls, like what happened with you guys? Like what did you guys do? And we talked, and we vibed, and we strategized, you know what I mean? And you came up with the PRZ, right? The ranking to incite people to come out to more events. And I believe the way that the ranking currently goes is that the more events that you go out to and the higher placing you get, the more points you get.
Yeah,
it
weighs events against each other. So like majors are worth more than regionals, which are worth more than monthlies, which are worth more than locals. But obviously, if you come out to one event and you do really well, that'll probably get you a spot in top 10 if it's like a good event. Like Seven made the list primarily off of the back of that one monthly because he defeated a lot of top out-of-state talent.
Still shocked.
Hands the pocket.
Hands in the pocket. This man made it happen.
That's all I'm gonna say every time. Hands in the pocket.
I literally won like one thing, and I looked up. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm on."
But that's the power.
I moved up a spot too. I was like, "All right."
That's the power because every single monthly since Seven, you've actually been there, and we talked at that monthly. That was my very first time meeting you. We had you up there for the winners interview. You know, you talked your stuff. You went on about Ronald Nation. I have no clue what that means, but like chat loved it. You know what I mean? And like,
go back to that episode. He talked about it.
he went on his it literally revitalized everybody. People that weren't coming out. Seven case in point, like he can't come out every single week. You know what I mean? But people were coming out to the monthly in numbers. Dragon Ball was becoming more consistent. You had new players coming out watching Dragon Ball. Like it was beautiful. And so off of all of this hype, one of the things that we saw from another local event that had happened, which I'm not going to name, but it didn't go super great. And as a result, we had a lot of out of region players no longer coming out anymore, right? Yeah. So we started highlighting even more of our local talent, like not just Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Tekken, so on and so forth, but Dragon Ball specifically after Giga won, he took that opportunity to kind of go off with it, right? And we gave him creative liberties. That month it was actually streamed on my channel, so he had a little bit more creative liberties than he would have if we had streamed on VG boot camps, where that absolutely would not have been tolerated. Because I was running the event and I understood, like, and JDiesel was like, yo, let me interview him, like, let him up on mic. You know, we gave you guys your piece. Like, I started him off and you finished it up super strong. But, like, that entire clip really, I feel like, encapsulated, like, the moment that DMV, like, Dragon Ball built up towards. You know what I mean? What happened after that, I can only kind of describe as, like, the worst case scenario, right? Because what happens is when you create a community position like that, specifically inside of a really small, tight-knit community, anybody inside that community can cause that community to crumble like that. And that was the issue that we ran into, right? So after the monthly, everybody did their piece. Everybody was like, yo, good on, like, DMV, good on Seven for holding up all of MDV.
This man held with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I'm still shook about that, Seven.
That he blocked it against Jesus Boom.
Like, bro. Literally, if you haven't seen Old Man Seven memes, like, you gotta get on that, because this man aged from blocking Kid Boos.
And I'm guilty of being Seven, like, yo, so why are you playing hit, though? Like, are you trying to lose?
From some of you who are curious about who he beat at that monthly, Seven defeated Kern, he defeated Sage, and he defeated Jace.
Otherwise known as Nikomaki.
Yes.
Like he took names. You know what I mean? Like these are super high level, like the Kill Sage, Sonic Fox, and Lord Knight, but these are real strong players. You know what I mean? And defending against those players means something inside of the community. And so we all rallied about that, like, good on us for defending ourselves. And the problem with that was that Giga then took that moment and he made it all about him.
Strike one.
Yeah.
One.
Right? That's the problem. Is when you take a moment meant for the entire community and you make it about yourself and you say, yeah, well, it doesn't matter that you beat me because you lost to Maryland. No. Stop. Because if you now accept a money match, you're not doing that on Maryland's term. You're doing that on your own personal terms. Maryland already won. Unless you get all of Maryland to co-sign on that money match, you don't have Maryland here. When Maryland then approaches you and is like, hey, man, you know, maybe you shouldn't be acting like this publicly. Maybe you shouldn't be saying all of this stuff publicly. You're really coming for them personally, and that's not something that we, like, you know, co-sign on.
We don't condone
at
that.
all. We don't.
No, exactly.
We're not trying to attack New Jersey. Like the first time it was chill, we got it, you know, and you got humbled because Sage beat you in bracket, and then 7 won. Now if 7 wanted to come off and attack Sage, Maryland would be like, okay, 7 has earned that right. You know what I mean? But in Maryland and most of DMV's eyes, Giga had not earned that right. That's not something that you get just by being a part of Maryland. You don't just get that by being part of a community. You have to earn that place in your community. 7 earned that place. Yeah. Right? And so then asking the community to have your back when you do something like that personally, after the community has already told you, hey, by the way, that's not what it is. And then you continue to say, no, that's the community. No, stop. Let's calm down. That's not it. Right?
No, and like we had. I'm sorry to cut you. Yeah. We had Giga on the podcast after he won the monthly, and I can kind of like, I was talking with somebody, and I literally had to brace myself because I watched that clip, and I was like, oh no, this dude about to be some bad mamma jamma coming on this podcast, talking like. If you go back and watch that episode, you saw, like, I was popping off, but in my brain, I was like, this dude literally is going to call out everybody in Maryland, and everybody else is going to have to sit there and be like, well, that's one of our kids. That's like our child. It's like the kid that goes up to school and you're just like, how was your day? It's like, I don't know, I got bullied again. It's like, man, you kind of did it to yourself. Yeah. It's like, damn. So, but no, yeah, like I totally agree where you're coming from.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I really do respect Gigaitachi. I do. I respect him, one, for not only taking his money and actually going up, but then coming back and actually playing out the entirety of the match. Because that's something that I know a lot of people that talk mess inside of chat would not do.
I was going to say, I will say, Stream Monsters, I want you to ask yourself deep down inside, if you knew you had dug yourself into a money match for $300, where everyone in the world was going, you're going to get 10 owed, would you show? And you could say whatever you're going to say. Don't answer that to me. No. I don't care. But ask yourself deep down, would you show up?
Look in the mirror and be like, would I actually run a set for $300?
Like, that's rough.
For somebody I know that's like...
If Sonic Fox, if you somehow, Sonic Fox, you ended up in a money match against Sonic. And he was like, yeah, sorry, we got to run this for $300. And there was no way out, right? Do you show up to that match?
I know a lot of people that have left for less. I know
I've seen people duck $20 money matches.
Yep.
Like
that's respect. And to get on the mic afterwards. Now, that's another thing. I have personally I know we're not gonna get super hard into it this podcast, but I don't appreciate either one of them delving to the level that they did inside of that interview.
So
right. And I've talked to both of them personally about the way they conducted themselves inside of those interviews, and that was just inappropriate for both of them on a personal level.
I mean, real quick.
I have to dive in real quick. 7, hold this. Do not lose that thought. Hold it.
Okay. Do not.
Cali Mac.
Yeah.
I know that you have stuck with us, and I know that you have, and I really appreciate you the way you have held on for us. You have been an absolute godsend, and honestly, hearing that commentary as a commentator, I have all the respect in the world. If you had told me you've only done one event before that money match, I would have never believed you. But
I didn't believe him when he said that on stream. I didn't.
No, facts.
There's no way.
I know you are gonna have to get ready to get going. So what I want to do real quick is, I'm not going to deny you the honor we give every single guest on this podcast.
Every single guest.
Which is real quick. Callie, take a minute. Anyone you want to shout out, do your quick wrap up. Hit that stuff. I want to give you that same honor, especially as our first returning guest on the podcast. Take it away, Callie.
All right, real quick. I just got to shout out UTR, FloKey, JDiesel. Those are the guys. Shout out Seven. Shout out Sharpie. Seven's the homie. Sharpie, thank you so much once again. Shout out everybody that actually told me that my commentary was OD. I really appreciate it. Shout out Sage and Giga. No, I mean they gave us a show at the end of the day. Despite everything, they definitely gave us a show. And I think that this is, and they didn't even hit me until you guys said it, but I guess this is gonna be cemented as FGC lore.
This is
lore.
It really is, bro.
Yeah,
it's a new age. You did
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Matter what your first time. That was the only time that mattered.
Nobody's gonna forget what transpired. Nobody's forgetting that.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna go down in history, you know what I mean? So shout outs to everybody that was a part of it, and yeah, that's all I got to shout out, you know what I mean?
I'm like gonna cry right now because this man definitely just went on a 2-minute long shout out and didn't give any of his socials.
Yo, honestly,
do you see this man?
I'm just out here, you know what
guys,
I mean?
Callie Mac's Twitter is on screen right now. Go follow him. Follow his SoundCloud.
Has a Discord.
Yup.
Yeah, I may gotta use those beats on stream for real.
I might have to.
And that Discord, real talk, is my favorite Discord to goon out in. Real shit.
Yeah, it gets crazy in my Discord. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny though. Yeah, I appreciate anybody that wants to check it out. And I mean, I stream on Twitch too. Stream mostly Dragon Ball. But, I do a whole bunch of funny stuff. So
that's what I like.
Check
to hear,
me out on that too.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight, my man.
Yeah. For sure. Thank you guys for having me. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. For sure.
Hey, bro, Kali.
Yo, take it easy, Seven. I appreciate you too, my man. We definitely gonna link up when you come to NY.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in the coming months. Maybe like the next month, like 2 months down the line, I'll be in New York.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And you know when you come down to Xandru, you gotta get on the mic, right?
It's only right. It's only right.
Callie,
as long as you know that's mandatory,
Callie, you're getting on the mic with me. There's no two ways about it.
There's no questions.
Oh man, I can't wait. For sure.
Callie, my friend, you know me. You the homie. You one of my ride or dies. You know me.
You already know, brother, man. You already know. Love.
All right,
brother.
Hey, Callie, before you go.
Yo.
Hey, so do you already have like a sub goal set? For,
I actually hit my sub goal like 2 weeks ago. It was to get 50 subs.
Okay. And what was what did you do for that goal?
I'm actually supposed to be, thank you, because I'm gonna. And I actually appreciate you, my guy. I'm actually doing a sub giveaway at the end of the week
Look at that setup.
Yeah, it's for an item which will be revealed at the end of the week. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and stuff, because that will be revealed real shortly. That's gonna be super lit. Know what I mean? So make sure you tune in and all that stuff.
For the next goal. Goal,
yeah.
Make it like 100 subs.
Uh-huh.
And it's gonna be a wave check reveal. You're gonna release the limiter, son. You're gonna release the limiter.
Set the wave check on stream. You
got release the limiter.
Real quick before I dip out of here, I get a request once a stream to wave check. Take off my do-rag and wave check. It is literally every time.
I just want to understand.
The
entire stream you had it on.
You feel me? Like my joints was spinning that day too, but I didn't want to break the camera, so I had to hold the power back. You know what I mean?
You know
what I'm saying?
My man's about to warp reality with that joint, son.
But I definitely appreciate that sub goal. That might have to be the next wave.
I like the wave check sub goal. I get down with that.
No, that definitely might be the move.
Yeah, just make sure everybody got like their Everybody got the floaties on. Make sure they got the floaties on so they don't get drowned.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, yeah.
That's OD.
I definitely appreciate that, channel, man, for sure.
Nah,
man.
Absolutely, Callie.
Cali Mac, my friend, have a great rest of your night. Thank you for coming on.
Y'all take it easy,
All right,
man.
man.
For sure.
All right.
What a
Yeah.
nice
All
silhouette.
right. Now, I did not forget where we were. 7. I know I stopped you mid-thought, and I'm not going to take that away from you. So, my man, take it away.
Okay, I think it was when Sharpie said she didn't like the way they conducted themselves.
Oh, post-match decorum.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Words were said.
going off of that, I don't like how Maryland has been like conducting themselves in these past hours, day. And I'm sure everybody has seen it. There's like 2 different beefs going on right now. And I don't condone it at all. Like you shouldn't be trying to fight somebody because they're talking bad about your boy. Like your boy got smoked. He's getting clowned because of what he did. To be honest, if that was not my boy, I would be clowning him too. As a matter of fact, when I see him again, I'm gonna clown him because he did some really dumb shit.
He
Said it's
really.
so real.
Yeah.
Trust me, like best believe he's getting clowned the moment I see him again.
Like,
Are you saying clowned on site?
Yeah.
yo, 7.
I'm gonna
You
bring the shoes.
teleported out.
I'm gonna bring the nose. I'm gonna bring the wig. I'm
Bro.
like, bro, you gonna have to put this on for a little bit after that.
Bro,
after that show.
I think the next Xanadu after this week's one is actually Halloween.
Exactly. So you already know
So
what
like,
time
no
it is.
lie.
That's gonna be OD. Like,
I
I'm
will
gonna
show up
watch
to the
that
weekly
just for the
with
culture.
The clown suit, son. Say, come on, bro. You know you gotta put this on, son. You know you got to after that. My man's got 10-0'd. The last match, my man's got red, so he got scooped out of the sky, then got key charged. Don't ever let somebody key charge. That's
He
just
key
Bro, that
charged
was
on
that's
him?
disrespectful, son.
I don't
That's
know. I think
I don't remember.
the key charge was bad.
Off, set back down, and then key charge and got confirmed let himself get it confirmed.
I was more disrespected by the change the futures back and forth across the screen.
I
thought that was more disrespectful, to be completely honest.
I approve of that. I do that all the time.
Can I interject for 1 second?
Take it away,
'Cause
Sharpie.
Kelso just said in chat that it was only 3 dudes acting up. I'm a step back for a second and say that I personally almost attacked a mother for saying some stuff about Xanadu. Like, and that was me and my feelings because I've been seeing a lot of MDVA hate all day, right? And so I took something out of proportion. And I think it's really good on people. Like, for example, Big Bag Mills like attacked a couple people, and he actually put out an apology afterwards saying, hey, by the way, you know what? I was feeling a certain type of way. I apologize about that. It was my misunderstanding. You guys were on the right. Yeah, and that's I think that is if what happened before was like the worst case timeline of what happened, what's happening now with that apology, what that shows is that not only is our region able to accept, like, you know, when we make mistakes, but that we're able to grow from that. And that's huge. That's something that I want people to be showcasing. And like Bill's doing that set an example, especially as like currently 1 ranked inside of the PRZ. You know what I mean? Like, hey, by the way, here is the example of how we are supposed to be conducting ourselves when we're part of a community. And you'll notice the entirety of the community was like, good on you, Mills. Great stuff. We're proud of you. We're here for you, brother. Right? In fact, if Mills were even to like maybe showboat on some stuff and he didn't cross the line, I'd probably have his back right now. Because right now he's showcasing what it means to be inside of my community.
Right.
Yeah, like when Mill was in that thread, like going ham, because I know all he saw was red. He was like, bro, money match next setting wherever you're at. Just
I got in that argument too. I was all like, what you mean about Xanadu, bro?
Yeah,
what's wrong with us having smashers, bro? I can talk some stuff about y'all's venue, but I don't.
See, the thing is like I didn't read the entire thread because I was kind of like back and forth between like reading Khalil and then reading what Mill had to say. I was more in like the stuff that kind of got me was the more about the stuff with Votto.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other can of worms. I got heated and I'm not even from y'all scene.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I was tagged in that whole thread.
That one was bad.
I was tagged in that whole thread.
I said,
I've been getting
damn, we are
notifications
getting
about that
so
all
mad.
day.
Listen, we're getting so mad we're attacking our own right now. I don't understand.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
On your side, please.
Yeah. Like, I think the thing is, going back to what you said before about like showing yourself in the community, I think it's really important because, like, again, like I made this mention before you got on, a lot of people make mistakes, and it's important on them to check themselves.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't check themselves and they don't look at what they've done, or if they said some dumb shit and they don't be like, hey, you need to cut that shit, and then like, if they see it in themselves, they have to check themselves, and then they try to make things right. I think that's good.
Yeah.
If they don't, then you're just, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and effort. But no, yeah, that thread, man, I read half of it. Ugh, God.
I'ma just say that there are certain things that people will say in the public eye when they feel like they are defending their friends and they feel like they are in the right. Right. And unless they have someone check them and say, hey, that's not it. Like, even my good friend Alucard, who I'm so happy just got out of surgery, like, he is recovering. I'm so happy about him. I know you guys said blast up to Alucard already, but, like, just again, brother, I'm so happy you're good. But, like, he checked me. He was like, yo, Sharpie, I don't think that's what he meant. I don't think that's what this meant. Like, calm it down, breathe it out.
Right.
And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me this, because you know what? I was in my feelings. I did read the wrong line. I misinterpreted it. You know what I mean? I'm in defensive mode right now because people are coming for me.
And that's the thing is, I think a lot of the stuff that ended up coming out of this, like I think a lot of the negativity and like the knee-jerk reaction was because there was, if you gotta understand, coming from being on the MD side of things, there was a wave. There was a tidal wave. I'm talking the biggest, like, and right, you see this wave of negativity coming at you. I literally couldn't find a place without it, right?
Yeah.
And as a result, somebody says something that in like a normal context, right? You'd be like, oh, what? They don't mean nothing, right? But when you're already primed, right? You're primed because you're like, oh, you're coming at me too, right? You're swinging at shadows. And that's what, right? You start swinging at shadows. And it's like, that's not what you got to do. And, you know, I think Mill, his statement, he kind of went, hey, I know that I was swinging at shadows, right? Exactly. I know this wasn't personal. I get it wasn't this, and that's why he made the apology that he did, and I think it showed that willingness, kind of as Sharpie said, you know, that willingness to go, hey, I screwed up, right? I'm not going to sit here and double down and, you know, make more, you know, he's going to go, no, I'm sorry, I screwed up, because that's the thing, and that's what you want as a community.
Yeah.
You want players to, because this is one of the things that I believe very heavily about leadership. Leadership is not a one-person game.
Nope.
A lot of people feel like you can bring one really good person into a community and suddenly your community's going to thrive. That is not how it works. I have never believed in that style of leadership. Because what happens,
that firsthand.
It's at every single level. You need to empower the members of your community and ask them and instill within them a sense of wanting to be better, wanting to be part of their community, and wanting to work towards something greater than themselves. When every single member of a community has that feeling in their heart, you get a truly great community. Because at that point, they're going to go, hey, I want something more. Right?
Exactly.
Whereas when you have one person at the top and they're like, oh, why don't you check your boy, right? Community, your feelings on things should never come from the top down.
Right.
That's not how a healthy community works. If your community is predicated on having one dude sit in a chair and go, don't do that. Stop that. Stop being a fool. You are never going to get anywhere as a community. Not in 1,000 years. I don't care if you have Alex Valle himself sitting on a gold-plated Hollywood throne. All right?
Oh,
you are not. You are not. That man is a legend, and he couldn't do it. Right?
Crazy.
But guess what? Why do you think Wednesday Night Fights is run the way it is? Where Valle goes ahead and he helps lift people up. Look at the way the DBZ community is run at Wednesday Night Fights. Their commentators are incredible players, and they're also community organizers, and they help run brackets, and they help take care of things. Valle doesn't oversee every little thing.
Yep.
He empowers the people around him, the people who are passionate, to succeed. And I think every community should be trying to strive for that. And I think if your community is not striving for that, and you're depending on one person to be the linchpin for your community, you're in for a rude awakening the day that person doesn't show up. Because you're going to realize you built a house of cards.
Speak to M. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
I agree. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut because
as you guys can probably tell, I feel a lot of things, but I feel first and foremost a lot of love and pride in my region.
Seriously.
And that's what this is about. Seven, you've got the longest stare going on right now. How are you feeling right now, my man? I know I just kind of went in right there.
So, I'm going to put this out right now.
Hit it.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
If anybody is, like, not trying to claim Gigaitachi after what has transpired, you're also all clowns. I just want to put that out there. Like, each and every one that's not trying to claim Giga because of what transpired, you're kind of clownish. Like, if you knew the boy, you still know him. Like, he's my man. I've known him since, like, Blaze Blue days. And yesterday, he got fucked up. He got a foot put in his ass. And that's just how it is. He was trying to fight. He was trying to fight a class above him. You're not ready for it.
That was regional level. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again.
Like, bro, how you gonna fight somebody who was fighting like top 8 international material?
This was
he's training.
Like the man's already warmed up. Like he was in top of ECT. He's already warmed up. Then you come through and then fight him. I don't understand.
Not even change seats, bro.
Don't even change the seats.
Oh my.
Come on.
I think the one thing, and I want to reference this back to the interview that Giga did, because most of that interview, honestly, I again, it was like a mean thing, like kind of like Callie was talking about. But one thing he said, he got a taste of what it feels like to be out of state. Like that's the one thing that I pulled from it. That was like, okay, this dude's finally getting out of state. Once he starts getting out of state with the rest of Maryland, or the rest of you guys, I think then we'll see an arc that would be good for him in terms of like growth, and it would also that would trickle down into everybody else. Because for the most part, Giga hasn't really traveled out. I don't know much about him, but like for the most part, I don't know if this man's traveled out to any events for it to be
not
big.
Had as many events.
A lot of people don't know, but he has been to HOC one time.
One whole time?
He's been there before. A lot of people don't remember though. He's like Bum even talked to him, asked him where he was from. He's like, I'm from Maryland, but people didn't know him at the time. But he's definitely been to HOC before.
Right. But that's just,
that joint.
But that's the thing. Like besides that, what you just mentioned, like there's not like he hasn't like he doesn't really travel.
He's not a regular.
Yeah, he's not a regular traveler, but I know he's been to HOC, and that time he went to HOC, he was there for a tournament. I don't remember which one. Yeah. And he's not like a heavy traveler, but he's been places. He's definitely.
And I think the important thing here is he hasn't been to a major. Like HOC is a fantastic local. I think it's a great weekly, and they get numbers on their stream. They get numbers inside of their venue, but it's not a major. Like you don't have people traveling out of state every single week to go there. Right.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like outside the tri-state area type of thing. Like you only have people inside of the tri-state going to HOC. You don't have people flying from Cali to go there. Like if they're in New York, but not exclusively to go there. So I think the big thing is he found people that literally all they do is travel to other states exclusively because they don't have anyone else to beat them in their own area.
Right.
And that's a crazy experience. Like a lot of people, the way that I've specifically tried to build up our new Xanadu venue is that people have to travel to us because I want people to be prepared for when they travel out of state with that talent. But it also kind of creates an issue where people get a little bit too comfortable not realizing the type of talent they have coming down.
They get complacent,
Right? Like there was one we had Nokami come up. Nokami got top 8 at Evo.
I remember that. I remember that.
I covered Nokami, I covered LK and Flux, like all these crazy talents have come out to New Xanadu. And that's not something that usually is a standard monthly. Like you get named. You know what I mean? There are people that actually do get to travel. And so like that entire experience does kind of make you jaded. Like we had a player named Jerry who after LK beat him, he was like, I don't know about all this. KBR came to Xanadu and beat Jerry. And Jerry was like, man, I actually may gotta go and travel.
He went to
study.
For the case of Jerry,
mm-hmm.
I fought him so long to get that man to travel. Because a lot of people in this region do not travel as much as they should. I got him to one event. And he top 8 at ECT.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was the only major he ever competed in for Dragon Ball. His first major. And he beat Chris G. And he beat Yohosi. He beat Nico Maki. And he tore a path through that tournament. He ended up going down to, I think it was like DaPurpleSharpie Sage.
You mean the person that he was flaunting about beating online? You don't want to be talking about Sage now, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Sage
sure.
Is a whole nother mental monster,
I didn't
bro.
know that part.
It was
You don't be messing about Sage. He's like, well, I'm good. I was like, Jerry, do you know what a fuzzy is?
Like, the thing
I
was...
told him day motherfucking one that he wasn't ready for fuzzy setups. I sat there on that computer in front of setups showing everybody. I had to explain what fuzzy blocking was. I had to explain that to everybody there because everyone thought I was crazy.
Like, and this is the thing.
And I was like, you guys literally aren't ready to travel.
Jerry went to one event. He beat a lot of big players. And the thing was, he was more into Smash. That was his thing. Like, because he's also a top 100 rated Melee player. Just to contextualize Jerry as a person, right? Like, Jerry is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he just started competing in Ultimate, and now he's top 8 at Xanadu, which is one of the premier locals in the entire country.
It's the number one local.
Or number one, it's like...
Yeah. It's the same thing with another Smash player is Light from CT.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. He was doing really well in Dragon Ball when Smash 4 was on his last legs. And then Ultimate came out, and then he just taped out. But like Smash and Splash, he got top 8.
Yeah.
Like he still makes top 8 for this game. Like, granted, his team hasn't adapted, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of having those like traveling experience is big. Like, even if it's just a state over, like for a monthly. And I know another monthly that's coming up is that Panda Global one in NY.
Yes.
So that's going to be kind of what you brought up, Sharpie, like a potential litmus test to what could potentially happen. Would you have people driving hours to make that event? So, like...
Can I add one point?
Yes, you can.
I'm kind of backtracking here, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it.
Yes.
But earlier, Seven, you said, if you're Maryland and you're just owning Giga, you're whack. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm going to expand on that a little bit more because I want everyone to understand that while I'm very upset at the way that Giga condoned himself.
Oh yeah. I'm
No, I know. I want to say it. I want to say it publicly because I feel like this is an important point that people, especially TOs and community leaders, need to understand. When somebody messes up, even if you talk to them privately afterwards, that person deserves a second chance. They deserve it.
He gonna get a second chance right after they get done clowning him.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Best believe.
Run him through the dirt. Run him through.
Best believe. Next monthly. It's about to be a wrap.
But this is a learning experience. Everyone has that experience, especially when they travel for one of the very first times where they talk shit. I had that experience where I talked shit and I wasn't able to like settle it up. But the lucky thing about it was it was not on camera. It was not against a protege. It was not against a motherfucker who literally spent months streaming to come to my local and beat my ass. Like, that wasn't something that happened. You know what I mean? Like, so while I'm very upset about the way he conducted himself, I 100% believe in still giving him an opportunity to grow, which is why there's a lot of private things I will not say publicly, because I don't think it's fair to him. for me to go all the way out, like single-handedly making sure that this dude will never like again be welcome in a community when like, you know, this is a learning experience. You can't do this once and then be like, well, I don't get another chance. Like, no, bro.
Gigaitachi.
This is double elimination, my guy.
To make my statement, because I have been asked several times today, as
here we go.
I'm the PRZ person. I put together the list and all of that.
Uh-huh.
Gigaitachi is someone who comes to my local, he competes in my region, and he has shown up time and time again. What I think that people saw of Gigaitachi, I don't think is the best side of Gigaitachi that we see on a regular basis.
Yep.
Gigaitachi shows up, he works hard, and he plays. Now, did he get it over his head? Yeah. Do I like the way that he conducted himself on a national stage? No, I don't. But not for a single second would I take someone who regularly comes to my local, who puts out and has worked tirelessly to improve. You know, one of the people who supported me the most when the PRZ was announced was Gigaitachi. He was one of the most excited.
He was like, I'm coming
people.
out every week.
He came, and you know what? He did.
Yep.
Giga used to be somebody I barely ever saw, and he chose to show up, and he went, Jay, I want to make this list. He's like, I'm going to get better. I'm going to work. And you know what? He started his training arc. You know what? Was he ready? Was he ready to fight Cell, you know, after just learning what key was? No, he really wasn't. And there's a lot of room for growth. I'm not happy with what he did, but I would not for a second say, and you can quote this, you can put this wherever you want, you can show this to whoever you want. MD, VA, the DMV, we are not disowning Gigaitachi. We do not condone his actions, but he is a member of our community through and through. And you know what? This is something that I think we're going to, as a community, we're going to learn. We're going to get better. I am not about to toss someone out into the cold for this one mistake. I'm not going to do it. I am not that kind of person, and I refuse to be that kind of person.
I 100% agree with that.
So as the community manager, leader, liaison, whatever you want to call me, for my region, Giga, you will always have a home here. But I want you to learn, I want you to reflect on this, and I want you to come back a different person. That's what I want.
You guys better than me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
You guys better
So
than
it's like, fuck that dude, bro.
I'm gonna leave him on the cold for a couple days, think about his actions.
You know what? And that's fine. And here's the thing. I'm not going to I'm not going to use my position and tell you how to feel if you're in this region. I'm not going to do that because I already stated I don't believe in top-down leadership where they tell people what to think. I want each and every one of you to think about how you feel, how this made you feel. And if you don't want to welcome Giga back with welcoming arms in the next week, fine. But he's still going to show up, and he's still going to play, and he's going to have a seat at the table because we all going to eat.
Yeah.
All right?
Facts.
And that's it. And guess what? You can still clown the shit out of him because that's how he acted. All right? Because I'm not.
Best believe, son. I'm telling you. The moment I see him walk through that door, just know that clown music is coming on.
Ooh,
Yo, exactly. King Sharpie knows.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yo, can we just talk about alternate costume 7 right now?
All right.
Yo, what is this like?
We got Tekken 7, Palette 9.
Yo. I posted a chat on my Nation 7 alternate costume.
Oh yeah, you guys already know, son.
Yo, I'm a good. Ricky, you're calling me a good? What? I mean, I am
JDiesel.
Thanks for coming out to stream, Ricky.
No, seriously.
Oh yeah, best believe.
Papa Ricky.
Ricky's the guy.
What are you gonna say, 7?
But
and I was gonna say, Kite, best believe those memes are gonna be being retweeted for days. I'm all for the clowning. Like,
yeah,
100%.
you asked me for source material. You were like, I got.
Oh yeah, that's what I asked you for the source material. I was like, just know something's coming in like a few days.
Yo, House 7. Yo, someone said 7 is from Game of Thrones. I'm like, House 7. Bro.
Yo, winter is coming and 7 is ready.
No, seriously. But this has been a really phenomenal podcast, like top to bottom. If you guys still have any questions, Sharpie's been posting it all night. Use the hashtag under the radar or UTR on Twitter. We do have a Discord, so that is also I am still figuring out Smash GG, but I have information for you guys potentially next week about the first
Thank you, Ricky.
online
I
monthly,
appreciate that.
which is gonna be lit. JDiesel, you don't even know, but I have things ready.
And you know what? I'm incredibly excited about that because
That is huge.
we're gonna have with Under the Radar, we're gonna have our own monthly that is gonna be running. It's gonna be online because that's just the way we do things. Also,
Yes.
guys, the other thing that I want to mention is the PRZ list that came out. There is an invitational that is going to be run alongside that, where those top 10 players are all going to be invited out to compete and have their own event and showcase the best the DMV has to offer. And I hope you guys really try to make it a point to come out and watch. But all right, guest Sharpie, I'll kick it over to you first. Any closing words, anything you want to get off your chest, say it with your chest, whatever you got. Or are you good?
I wanna say something that like is actually mad important to me, and I tweet it all the time, but like you guys may not hear it enough times, you know. So I'm gonna just say it again. May have already said it this podcast, but I'm gonna repeat it. Support your locals.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah! Yo, did you guys see his face?
I just got baited so hard.
I got Ricky too.
Oh, we knew.
I got both of you guys. But
I'm
definitely play Skullgirls. It's not on sale, but please, please, please play the game. It's super hype. More importantly, play Unius. It's a great game. Climax of the Night is this Saturday. Check it out. Give them some love. Shinobi's doing a great thing there.
Yeah.
And even more importantly, last tiny plug I'm going to have is I'm trying to get my Instagram some numbers. I'm giving away Indivisible and Skullgirls for PC to one of my lucky Instagram followers. You have a chance. Follow me, Instagram.com/SharpiePLS.
Yeah. And also, you said support your locals, right?
That was the very first thing I said. I'm surprised that you remember play Skullgirls and not support your local.
Come on.
That's why I be saying it first.
Hands
Because don't
in
nobody be listening.
hand. All right. 7.
Damn it.
You get to take it away next, my man.
Yo, Revelation.
Oh, you already know. You already know it's coming. So. The Ronald Nation's coming somewhere in there, but I don't have the theme on me right now, unfortunately. But it's somewhere in there. My stuff is right there. At AMs_77. I forgot to put my Twitch in there. It's all good.
It'd be like
Yeah, Twitch triple. What is it? What is my Twitch actually?
I think it's 7_7.
Let me see here.
Yeah, but like seriously,
Yeah,
follow
yes.
7. This dude has been putting up lobbies with all top players. I've played in those. Shit is dead.
I have like lobbies running every day for anybody that wants to come through. Please be East Coast and please be wired, for the love of God. If you're not wired, I'm actually going to find you. But yeah, I meant to ask you something, JDiesel.
Hey,
What do you
Oh,
think,
no.
since we have the Maryland people in the chat right now, what do you think, for the DBFZ players, what do you think is their biggest flaw as a whole?
ooh.
Oh,
I know the answer. I just want to know if you know.
well, my stance on things, what I think the region struggles with the most, honestly, is I think we have a weak mindset. For
True.
me, it's one of those things where a lot of the players in our region, they will start out very, very strong in a set. You could see it in the money match. You could see it in Big Bags Mills against Coach Steve on stream. But there is a critical point in every single match where our players crumble. And it's either from a dropped combo, a mix-up you didn't think you should get hit by, whatever. It can be small, it can be large. But once that happens, the level of play drops by something, I would say like 40%, 30%. It's drastic. And the thing is, it is not a unique flaw to any one player in this region. I think it's our most pervasive issue. The second issue is we like to challenge with buttons too much. That is a bad habit.
Yeah, I see you in the chat, Justin. I hope you're listening.
Yeah, actually, hold on. I'm going to specifically, I'm going to use my platform for one thing. My fat toy,
Ooh.
There you
learn
go.
to block. Please.
that.
You are such a good player if you'd stop blocking with your face. And
Ooh.
I only say that because you're
Yep.
my brother, but please learn to do it. Sorry.
The
That
crazy
is I
part
got to
is-
get that off my chest.
Okay, yeah, crazy
I had it.
part is Justin has like one of the better mentalities.
He's
He
got a
just be
great.
blocking his
he's
face.
got- now,
challenge, bro.
Now hold on. One thing I do have to say, because I know he'd bring it up, so I'm just gonna beat him to the punch. We did play first to 10 last week,
Yes.
and the score was 10-9, and he got it.
No.
So
Atta boy, Justin. Just like I
I-
taught you, bro. Make sure you block your face some more, son. They'll
Let's
never
go,
see it coming.
Justin.
All
Also,
those,
I
those layered setups that they do, if you just get hit with your face, it won't work.
I'm just gonna
Why
point
y'all
this out.
Face, bro.
I'm gonna point this out. My fat toy is still higher than JDiesel on the PRZ by
Oh!
1 point.
But is he running tournaments? Like, what is the excuse?
That is true. That is true.
I
That's
will
true.
say my fat
That's
toy
true.
is currently rated number 12 on the
I am
PRZ.
hyping this dude. I'm
I
hyping
am
up this
number
dude JDiesel.
13.
I want this dude to smoke my fat toy.
Oh man.
Yo, JDiesel for president.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness, thank you, Flo. I appreciate
you,
I
gang.
I really do appreciate the support, boys.
Got you, gang.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yo,
so,
sit tight.
so 7, I thought that was actually a really good question. Anything else? And actually, anyone in the chat right now, if you have a question for any of the 4 people up here, feel free to ask.
Seriously.
If it's a
please,
general
please
question,
ask the question.
Oh, are we gonna check
post it to all
Twitter?
of us. Yeah.
Like,
check
The
Twitter.
is-
thing
is-
I've been saying all day? Oh,
Yeah,
let me actually check to see if anything's there. I'm
but-
sorry.
But to pinpoint that out, because you already said it, like they have a weak mindset. These guys don't understand how good they really are, but their mindset is just so like abhorrently trash that it just holds them back like 3 levels. Like my man's Kelso, he has the team. I've seen him actually put in work a numerous amount of times, but for whatever reason, when you see the GT Goku, it says, I just don't know what to do about this game anymore, man.
That's
To be fair,
Come
nobody
on,
knows what to
son.
do
Like,
against
come
GT
on, bro.
Goku
It's
right
just-
now.
he's proven himself time and time again, but the moment he sees this rat on the screen, I just can't do it no more. I just don't understand.
That was me for so long.
Kelso, come on, man. Like,
Dude,
you're
you
mad good.
Kelso, why you sound like me when I had to play kite for so long, and then I
Then,
just was like, change the future.
Then with a Big Bag Mill,
Ooh,
He's-
we
he's
just going
good.
down the list.
yeah, like I have,
Oh,
there's so many. Like Mill,
I mean, I literally do have an image for this. It's called the PRZ.
yeah,
Let's
like
calm it down.
yeah, like Mill is mad good, but he just gets frustrated really quick. Like, great, he can cool off, but he gets frustrated too quickly, and then just there you go.
I was gonna say, if you can see that in his match against Coach Steve at East Coast Throwdown, like they were 2-1. Coach Steve
Yeah.
got second at that tournament.
Yeah.
Like it was
Also, good
2-1.
ups on
Yeah.
Steve. Good ups on him,
Yeah,
bro.
Steve
Yeah.
played.
Yeah,
Steve
Steve was
played
doing really
incredibly
good
well
this
that tournament. Like
The
I got
coach.
Winter Brawl, he was mad inside of his head earlier. That's amazing improvement because there were people at this event.
there
Mhm.
was mad
Yeah.
people. He made the run. Like
I think the thing is too about Coach, kind of like sorry to cut you. I think the one thing about Coach is that he made top 8 as well in MK,
Yep.
yep.
which was a higher profile event. Not taking anything from Dragon Ball.
This man
But
was
I think
double
he was-
dipping.
He was
Yeah,
double dipping,
yeah.
but he was riding the high of making K. I think this was like a victory lap. So, good on him for sure. But yeah,
Sponsor Coach Steve has literally placed top 8 at several majors,
go
eats
for it.
ass, and does not pull out. Hire this man. Hire
And
him.
that-
Give him money. Fly him around the globe.
So he can
I
preach
can
the
advocate for that.
gospel.
So
Oh.
he can tell other people not to pull out, okay? Of neutral.
Just give him. Just put a PG in
Thank
front of that
you,
tag
now.
in your set.
Yeah.
Oh my god, glad my girlfriend does not watch this. Oh my god.
I mean, hey, I mean,
Don't
if he,
clip that. Don't clip that. That
if
is
he,
not rated
if,
PG.
look, if you don't want to pull out of neutral, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna put neutral in front of that.
Just
If you
don't
wanna
pop
pull out-
sparking. Just don't
Yeah,
pop.
if you don't want to pull out a neutral, more power to him, man. Just I hope you got like an assist, AK protection behind you, like you know. So
Oh my god.
Yo, he be
But-
cutting up on Twitter sometimes. I was like, Steve, sir. Steve,
Are you-
sir.
yeah,
Hello?
Are you-
People can't be following you in broad daylight, no, sir.
yeah, like
That was OD, but
props to
yeah.
him- props to him.
Play
yeah,
Skullgirls,
no.
you know.
But you
Yeah,
know,
Sponsor Steve, don't pull out. Okay.
All right, Steve. All right,
Jay,
Seven, what you got?
you know,
Talk to me.
who has like the most potential out of everybody so far in Maryland, but he has the worst mentality. Like it's literally a
Alien.
double-edged sword. Yup.
I'll tell you,
Alien just
Alien is
so
on the cusp. Now for those of you who don't follow our region very much, which I'm going to imagine is most of you.
Why don't you? Thursdays at 8 p.m. on VG Boot Camp.
Ooh, I like that
Tune in
plug.
is when
Good.
our stream starts.
Is-
Support all your favorite players, myself included, JDiesel as well as Seven.
If you look at our region, one of the players who I think if he fixed his mental game would be an absolute terror would be Alien. Because Alien, when he's on, actually plays incredibly well. Like he's a very good player, and like I think he could beat people at upper regional, lower national level players if he just literally didn't have the mental game problem. Because for him, it's like kind of what we've described, except more extreme, right? Instead of waffling between being like us, like a 5 and an 8, this man can be like an 8 to like a 4 or a 3. Like it's and it's all dependent on his mental game.
Yeah, like
I think an important thing to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like my man's will literally do so good, mess up one thing and just like have a meltdown. And like there'll be times I'm like, hold on, let me take a couple steps back. I need to make sure I'm not in swinging distance, just in case.
I think an important thing to remember.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Let me make sure the spacing is good.
What you got, Sharpie?
Alien, I believe Dragon Ball is actually his very first fighting game.
It is. So there's a lot of growing pains.
A lot of the players that you're talking about, their biggest issue is that they literally just this is their very first time coming to odds with the fact that, hey, this doesn't work inside of this game. Like a lot of the reasons why they're so good is because the only time they've really had to experience a lot of the issues that they run into is inside of Dragon Ball. And when you get to experience that for the very first time inside of a game that you're comfortable with, like it's easy for you to come across that problem. But the problems that they're coming across are mental, which are things that take people years to address. I think that Sage, not to kill Sage, but Sage is really, really blessed to be inside of an area with a lot of older players. But I don't think that our Dragon Ball community necessarily has that many OGs that are able to overcome that mental issue. You know what I mean? Like a lot of our older players have either moved or they're no longer involved specifically inside of Dragon Ball any longer. Like a good example would be PZ Poi. PZ Poi absolutely crushed when the game first came out. I think he was only seconded by like Ray and like Jerry barely. You know what I mean?
PZ
and when
was
he
good.
came, he wrecked because he was on he played UMVC. I think he also played Street Fighter. He touched every single game. If there was one man who knew how to like help players get past that mindset, that was PZ. He even hosted events. You know what I mean? And obviously, of course, Daigon. I don't want to leave Daigon out of this. But there were a lot of players that were involved inside of the scene before, specifically older OG players that are no longer inside of the scene. So all these new players are having to learn by themselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
which is something once again that JDiesel is doing. Yeah.
They lack the help to have like that solid mentality. Because a lot of the older DMV players have that mentality. That's the key that a lot of people are missing now.
And that's why traveling, I think, is so much more important our region than other regions, because New York doesn't have to travel. Like a really important fact that I'm just going to point out and then I'm going to be done. Hooky and God never went to any other locals than NLBC and was sponsored by what was it, NRG?
He's
still
sponsored by
Still sponsored by NRG. That's exclusively visibility. That's training with people there that know how to beat that mindset. That is learning natively with that game how to defeat people and then getting someone else to treat your mindset and help you unlock that. Because that's literally what it takes. And right now, these players are so strong for learning how to do that by themselves without anybody else, like literally holding their hands through that. Like there's so much respect I have for every single player.
It's hard.
I agree
for that.
Yeah,
I agree.
We got a question in the chat.
Ooh, what's the question? If it's what's the best Skullgirls team? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not any big fan.
Oh, this is a question for Seth. Oh, is this the Goku Black blocking question?
If I'm playing Goku Black and my opponent is just blocking, what do I do? Question for 7. Let me make sure I read that correctly.
Quick question.
All right, yeah. I had to
Black
make
a
sure I
grappler?
saw Goku Black.
No.
He's got a command grab.
He has one whole command grab.
Yeah, I just had to make sure. I had to make sure I saw Goku Black.
I know Goku Black is a a grappler. I want to just say that for anybody who's trying to.
I mean, you could just DR like a madman. You could. But no, don't trust me. That's why I don't make out of pools, and that's why I said it's good.
That's online as hell.
So
you see your opponent blocking, do not DR. Don't Dragon Rush.
So for Goku Black, what you want to do with him is change his hair yellow, put a orange gi on with a blue undershirt, and you got yourself a good character. Oh yeah, and change your beam blue. There you go.
Bars.
Keep everything else. Keep everything else,
Keep
guys.
everything else the same. Keep everything else the same. Oh yeah, get a 236L sliding knockdown anywhere on the screen.
Yeah, give him an install while you're at it.
Yeah. And then you could do whatever after that. You got a whole character.
But yeah.
Are we wrapping up?
I actually have a question. I have a question for me.
Ooh.
Wow.
You have a question for yourself?
Oh God! What from Kelso? What are your predictions for the PRZ for this next season?
Oh Jesus, Mamba's in here. Hey, cut the stream.
If we're talking the Invitational, I have my prediction of who's gonna be top 3. But in terms of PRZ, just in general, I just want I don't care who's on the list. I just want to make sure that everything that was mentioned tonight is put forward. Everybody's working together and everybody's trying to thrive their scene, because if that happens, that's the last PRZ you're gonna see. And it's not gonna look good for Xanadu. It's not gonna look good on you, Sharpie, on U7, on JDiesel, everybody. So I could care less who's on the PRZ particularly. I mean, if 7's on the list, I'm cool with it because hands in the pocket. But other than that, hands in the pocket. But other than that, I hope more regions do it and look to JDiesel for it. Because that was not mentioned. JDiesel literally said on this podcast he would literally do that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
real
happy to
shit.
help. I saw Ricky. I saw Florida actually put out their own tentative list.
Yeah.
A lot of people were very unhappy with the list because they said it wasn't based on anything except for there was a little bit of tournament results. But if you're a region that's looking to try to do that, I can help create a more formalized kind of process for you guys to have that, because I think one of the big things. I want you guys to imagine a PR list at the HOC. I want you to imagine there was an actual invitational at the end of the season. You want to talk about competition? If there was a top 10 cutoff,
my butt was clenched the entire time.
You get people like Hook who'd come out. You would get a lot of the big names. They'd come out
and put
more.
a G up, and you put a G up
just to lock up positions.
Just put a G up.
I mean, that's the thing. It's and also if you're in a smaller community, don't feel discouraged about running a PR for top 10 in your region. It gives your local players something to fight for when they can't travel all the time.
True.
And that's important. You want to keep that fire in your community.
True. But I think it's time.
It is.
Dude.
Answer these final questions or no?
Oh, what other questions we got?
Fist bump or
Can I
handshake?
answer one question? Can I ask one question from Facebook? It's your only question that we've had in chat.
Go ahead.
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah, y'all didn't know we was live on Facebook. Y'all just thought we got.
JDiesel said that, and I was like, I kind of forgot.
No worries. So season 3 DLC predictions. I think this one's just for the table.
The tape. I want PyCon free.
You always want PyCon. We have been through this so many times. Nobody wants PyCon, FloKey.
Okay, so I would really appreciate launch because I want a non-Saiyan female that didn't date a Saiyan or nothing like that, just in the mix. She's so beautiful too. Imagine having a Two-Face Eliza type character. Oh wait, I let too much.
Oh my goodness.
And no, that's nothing wrong with no Eliza. I love that character.
I'm just saying. Give me 2 different modes to play on that isn't a Gohan.
So what I want is literally just Golden Cooler or Majin Vegeta, but that's probably not happening. What they're probably going to put in is probably Kefla and Omega Shenron.
Or a Mecha Cooler. What about Mecha Cooler?
Oh yeah, somebody cut the stream. I can't believe you just asked me that question.
Yo, Seven.
No, that character never happened.
Seven.
That character
Don't put me in the cold.
That character
Don't
is
put me in the cold.
unbelievably trash. I don't
Yo,
ever want to hear anything about
I
Metal
just-
Cooler again.
Seven. Don't throw me into the cold. I can't.
In a
It's
world where
getting
GT
started.
Goku is canon, is anything not canon?
Look, I saw someone say
That's
Omega
true.
Shenron, and I do think that would be hype, actually.
Maju would be OD. Give me Oob.
You know what? I think it's
Oob would be so dumb.
one character I think would be hype would be Bulma in a mech suit. Yo, like Diva style.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
from,
except
the
Bulma's in one of the
character-
Capsule
no,
Corp mechs. Like,
I would like.
I think that could be kind of tight.
Yeah.
That actually be really good.
I think also like I'm just a big fan of this, but the Wolf brothers, like Bergamo,
Dudes.
like oh god, just have him like play like Ginyu.
Oh my god, where they use all of them as assist?
Let
Yes.
me see where we at.
We're
But,
not bringing Tron into this game. It's going to.
No, Bergamo was the Wolf. Yeah, the
No,
Wolf brothers.
somebody-
Oh,
Somebody.
Oh.
No. They're making her Tron like with Bulma.
Yep.
Bulma with Tron from UMVC.
yeah, Zarbon.
No, I know. I know that man. He plays Tron in Marvel 2 against me all the time. Your assist is so whack and so cheap, and I don't understand why I have to deal with it. Why I'm playing nice,
Give the
honest
people what they're
characters
asking
like
for.
Sentinel and Cable, and you're
Yeah,
out here
yeah,
locking me
yeah.
down with Doom Rocks.
Give her that awkward ass hitbox. Give
Oh
her
my
ridiculous hit stun, baby.
Damn, dude,
Let's
that
do it.
Nasty.
But can we all agree that regardless of what characters we want, what we really want is more assist choices?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
And
this game
stages.
would benefit. This game would benefit heavily.
And stages.
Can we all agree on that? Like that's literally the one thing that they're missing. Add on to the balance.
Yeah,
It's
like
yo,
assists.
multiple characters, check.
multiple assists would like help this game out a lot.
It would change the entire game. Even just being able to pick one other for every other character, it changed the
Mhm.
entire pace of the game.
Yeah.
And
I'm just having a just PTSD already of cooler dive kick assist.
ooh.
Nah,
And
I
that
don't.
being plus-
I don't go dive kick assist. I just want.
I don't
I either
I
want.
don't
I
care.
either want the ground
No.
shake. Or I want
No.
3H. That's it.
No.
You know,
No,
when people
no,
start
3H would be
talking,
yikes.
when people start talking about custom assists and like multiple assist choices, I'm
Jesus
reminded.
Christ, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Check out this train. We already know.
Is it because I said custom assist? Is that
I
what it was?
already knew when you said custom assist. I already knew.
That's what it was. I knew it. Play Skullgirls. Okay. Cut the tape.
Good team. No,
It
but
was because I said
seriously,
that, yeah.
this has been a phenomenal podcast. When I was told today was gonna be insane, we kind of, and I made this known again. When we put out those predictions, that was the most traffic we've had about the podcast
In a
in
minute.
in a minute. And to see where this podcast is going post this, I really hope a lot of you guys come back. Again, more info on the monthly coming very, very soon. Probably in a week or so. I'm just trying to figure out Smash GG because that shit's sometimes trash. But yeah, seriously, thank you to all of our guests tonight. I was not expecting 7 at all. I saw
I
Papa
told-
He
7.
lost his mind.
Yeah.
I
that's
saw
what-
Papa
'cause I
7.
told-
I was like,
I
Dad?
talked to Jay earlier. I was like, look, I got like one request. So just to like kind of help out like the image of DMV, DBFZ, I need to come on here because that was not a good representation of ECT. That was not a good representation at all. So I kind of had to come through and just kind of had to clean it up just a little bit.
Big Brother 7.
Yeah, because I'm getting real tired of cleaning up these messes.
no, but seriously, like 7, and then like having interaction with you, Sharpie, for the very first time. Even though I've heard it like really good stories, so it's as someone that's outside of this, being up in New England, it's kind of interesting to see how everything's been mingling. Again, I've referenced this so many times. We're 32 episodes deep now.
Yep.
And the pool now and we made mention of this. If this weekend has made any indication, this game is only gonna get bigger. Money matches are probably gonna happen more.
I'll tell you right now, you're about to see an influx of money matches over the next month. People have already seen a taste of what this could be like, it's gonna start. The money's gonna start flowing. I'll tell you right now. Is it gonna be the same level of hype? Maybe, probably not. But they're gonna be there. Expect it to happen.
I think right now we're in a really good state with Dragon Ball. I think the one thing, and I kind of like, I know Sharpie says play Skullgirls all the time, but one thing I've been trying to preach with everything is just play Dragon Ball. This game has so much depth and so much, like, even with the limited assist choices, this game, you can play any character. There's so many people doing such great things. Every single one of our guests has done something in this game to progress it. Every single one. If you go back and watch every single episode,
players, commentators, content creators, all down
everybody.
The road.
Seriously, like even us, like both me and Jay have done shit. Like I'm gassing ourselves up right now, bro. Like,
I saw y'all up there, Great Value Smash hosting DBFZ. Y'all running your own little there. Y'all lost one venue with Game Underground, got a whole nother one deck. I see you guys. Don't be playing.
It's like one of those things that right now, like, my goal with this podcast, and I still say it's not it, and we love New York, we love Jersey, but it's not just them no more. Yep. It's everybody else. And this podcast has really done this. And again, if you guys have missed this entire podcast, y'all fucked up.
Y'all got to go back and watch the VOD. It's got to be here. It's got to be on YouTube. Like, as always, like, you know the drill, guys.
Yeah. And also, if you guys aren't in our Discord for some reason, hold up. I have to do this
Drop
for the
link,
culture.
FloKey.
Hold on. Hold up.
While you're doing that,
I don't think I'm in this Discord. Let me join this Discord.
While you're doing that, I guess I'll go through like the questions that people ask, because I don't want to leave them like hanging.
Yeah, come on.
I'll speed run it. 7. Which game do you host lobbies in? I'm trying to play again. So for anybody that honestly just wants to come through to like a lobby, because I usually do it in DBFZ. I'll be doing it again in BB Tag once BB, the update for BB Tag drops. But for DBFZ, if you just want to be like come through to the lobby, just DM me and then I'll just play. It doesn't really matter. I don't really discriminate for who comes in. You could be trash, you could be whack, you could be ass. Hell, you could be even as good as me. But yeah, I'll just like I'll let anybody in. It's honestly just it's always open. It's always open lobby. Just DM me and I'll just let you come through. Honestly, everybody that comes through is always willing to play anybody. Right. So long as your connection is not like on a hamster wheel, please.
Facts.
So yeah, just DM me on Twitter. Twitter's right there. If you want to DM me on Twitch, that works too. Or if you ever see me streaming, just pop in. You can definitely lobby.
Seriously, that is gang shit. Yep. Sharpie.
Is that the homie 7? Yes, it is.
Do you have anything to shout out as we wrap up?
We're going to be making the final loop right here.
I feel bad double shouting out.
I do not care.
We at this fucking point, just do it.
Okay. So
give us the abbreviated shout out then. Do that then.
I am doing a really big giveaway right now. Lab Zero is releasing literally Skullgirls for Switch in about 51 minutes. I'm doing a giveaway tomorrow for all of my Instagram followers. Follow me on Instagram. Oh my god, I feel like such an e-girl saying that. But like, follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/SharpiePLS, and I'm on literally every other platform as DaPurpleSharpie. Y'all know what it is. And I stream every other day at 8 p.m. Not to be confused with this super awesome stream Under the Radar. Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Absolutely.
And also support your locals and play Skullgirls. It's a great game.
There we go. All right, 7.
True.
Final words for you.
I don't really have like anything to promote. I love you guys. I love the stream for being civil. Thank God. So I'll just answer like one more question, because this is a really good question. How do you work on the correct mindset?
Ooh, we answering questions.
I want to hear an answer from all of us.
All right, we'll go clockwise. FloKey, you're first.
Oh God, how do you work on the correct mindset? I say this all the time. Just keep playing. There's times like this is a personal thing. Like I at one point, what's funny? I had Sally Fox in my pool at NEC.
Oh.
Jay remembers this story.
I do remember this story very vividly.
I said straight up, I'm just gonna play and no matter what happens, just gotta keep playing. I have told that to every single CT player. Yeah, has struggled with my matchup or like a certain matchup. You know, just gotta keep playing no matter what, and things will come in time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just gotta keep playing.
All
That's
right.
me.
Is it my turn or is it who is it?
That would be Sharpie.
Sharpie,
Okay.
you're next.
The question was how do you fix your mindset? Was that the question?
Yeah.
I find the best way to fix my mindset when I'm tilting is to take mad deep breaths, and I actually kind of talk to myself.
I do that all the
Like
time,
not
too.
in a crazy, not in a. I do it on stream, and I've literally started doing it just out loud when I play against other people, and I don't care if my opponent hears me or not, because the important thing is that I hear me. Because just hearing myself, like, give myself positive affirmations, like, hey, you may have messed that up, but you have more chances to do this. Like, even just saying that after a deep breath helps me so much, even just in the middle of matches. Like, it's actually kind of astounding, believe it or not. But
Right.
I don't know, everybody's different. Like, you don't want tech. That's me. And I mean, you have a bazillion seconds when you're being comboed by a motherfucking big band in the corner with a Beowulf for no fucking reason whatsoever, goddamn ever. Some to spend all this time.
What? I had one rule.
Damn.
One rule.
This is why we can't. This is why.
Yo, I literally
What?
can't have nice things. Like, this is.
Sharpie.
I've never got an entire podcast without
It
saying
really
that
do be
word.
like that
What is
sometimes.
wrong with me?
Yo, can I
Clay
Thanos
was
snap?
staring at me because he knew I've been good all chat. Because he knew I've been good all chat.
This was literally the closing
I'm out.
statement.
I'm out. I'm the
I
thing.
was almost out. Y'all had so much respect for me too. Oh no. Poor Twitch chat.
Yo, they had to hear that. Yo, earmuffs, bro. That's earmuff city. That's OD.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yo, what the fuck?
I'm not actually the purple Sharpie.
Skull Girls refunded.
By my moniker AM_7. Follow me on Twitter AM_7.
Oh, word? It's like that?
That's some shit. Yo, honestly.
Oh man, you know the worst thing is I could have gotten away with it if I just. But I freaked out.
You freaked it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Damn,
That's my advice. Take a deep breath. Give yourself positive affirmations, be it out loud or in your own head, and just take a second. Go back to character select. Like, just breathe.
Yeah, that's big. Jay, what are you thinking?
Jay?
What I think in terms of mindset, so for me, I have had moments where actually I think the tournament where I realized mindset the biggest, I had the biggest breakthrough in terms of mindset was at CEO.
Remember that?
I was seated at CEO, which is in shocker because I'm a terrible player. My first opponent was playing on a Razer keyboard.
I remember this
like an
story.
actual Razer keyboard. He like plugged his PS4 into it and plugged it into the plugged it into a regular controller, and I lost this guy. And I was really, really upset at myself. And my fat toy actually came up to me, and he was like, "Bro," he's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm trash." And I was getting really upset at myself. I'm like, I flew all the way to Florida. I'm about to get smoked. Like Ricky, I've been talking to him and Frank Lotion and the rest of them. And I was like, I can't believe I'm about to go out 0-2 like this. And he looked at me and he's like, Diesel, he's like, just sit in that chair and beat everyone who sits down next to you. That's it. Don't focus on the tournament. Nothing else matters. Just play the game in front of you.
Just gotta play.
And I then proceeded to win my way through pool. I won game after game after game after game, and I ended up playing somebody to get out of my pool who is a much stronger player than me. His name is Soap. He's from Florida. I'm sure you guys know
Soap's in the
Soap's
chat.
in the chat. He's a very strong player, and I was able to make it out. And that was the best I have ever played in my entire life. I've never played that well again. I want to play that well again. But in that moment, I wasn't focused on what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. All I was focused on was what is the current situation and what can I do? And I think for a game like Dragon Ball, finding your calmness, finding that zen in set where you just like you just stop worrying is like that's how you kind of unlock it. Now for me, honestly, and this is what I did, I sung the first 2 parts of the Ginyu Force theme song on loop for 7 matches in a row.
No,
All
you
I
didn't.
did, I literally sat there with my fight stick and went, Toku Senkai, Toku Senkai, Toku Senkai. Every single one of my opponents could hear it, because I'm just sitting there like, I was hypnotized myself mid-set and just played.
Sharpie, is that you typing?
Like,
Giga
I know
responded to some.
exactly what you're typing to, too.
but that's it for me. Find a thing that helps, but yeah, my fat toy, absolute
Let
legend.
them know. Let them know. So,
All right.
Matter of fact, before I go to me, hey, so say that joint in all caps, bro.
Yo,
I see
you
in the
mean
chat. Say it in all caps.
So, no,
You mean-
don't do it to you.
Nah, because this man don't like avocados. So I need him to say it.
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
No, I don't. I can't. I don't condone not liking avocados. You gotta like avocados. That's
Wait.
just how it is.
Avocados are top tier. So,
Exactly.
so
That's
real
why it's
quick,
ash.
guys, OD funny. As OD funny. Oh
So-
man, can you talk? What's the mindset? What's the answers? Papa Seven.
For the mindset,
Seven guide us.
Before we go there, yes, Justin, you my son. If you do good next monthly, we're going to Pizza Hut, baby. But but pretty much for a mindset, like just having a better mindset, you gotta realize that, like you're just a human. Like you're not like some next level being. You're a human. You're gonna make mistakes. It's literally in our own nature that we're gonna continuously make mistakes. It happens.
Okay,
It happens
peasant,
in
I'm just
everyday
saying.
life.
I'm a
Guys,
queen.
like,
Okay, but
it's-
Like it happens in everyday life. Like no matter what you do, drop a combo, miss the 2H, whatever. Or if fighting somebody like 3 to 4 frames, that's also just a mistake right there. You shouldn't do that in the first place. But yeah, it's like you can't be hard on yourself to think that like you shouldn't ever make a mistake. It's accountability, and you gotta just accept that it happens.
Right.
If you mess up, you mess up. Don't, because when you start dwelling on like where you mess up, especially in tournament, oh my god, I've seen people get killed for this. You can visibly see that when somebody makes a mistake,
Oh god, they get
like
stuck
you
on it.
can, yeah, Jay knows what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly that look on a
Yeah.
player's face.
Yeah, when you see like they have this look on their face that like the world just ended. And the
Yeah.
whole thing is when you do that, you're dividing like your attention to like 2 places. You're dividing it on that mistake that you made, and you're dwelling on it, thinking about how things could have been different if you didn't make that. And then you're trying to like scramble to gain advantage again in the match. So while you're fighting yourself, you're still also fighting this dude, and your focus is not 100% on that. So you're
Yes.
probably about to get fucked up somewhere. Now
Yeah.
the best way to deal with that is to accept that you made a mistake and just prepare for the next situation. If you don't have an advantage anymore, or you're not in an advantageous situation, just let it rock. Like you messed up. Accept your punishment, move on. Just make the best out of a unfortunate situation. That's all you can do.
True.
That's all you can do, son.
That's the face
Yeah.
I had Jay fighting at CEO. Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Oh yes, and also being on Wi-Fi is a mistake.
I mean
hard.
that is.
Yeah.
I don't care what
Yo,
you
game
just
you're
gotta
playing. That's
slide that-
always a mistake.
Yeah. Being on Wi-Fi is also a mistake.
But guys, it is way over time.
Yeah, stuffed crust.
This
Yo, you're gonna get him stuffed crust. Don't spoil him this much,
I
Seven.
mean, if he's doing good, why not?
All right,
You know?
Seven. If you get him, I'll
Seven.
allow it. I'll allow
Papa
it. FloKey,
Papa
is-
Seven. Listen,
I'm
Papa
sorry,
Seven.
FloKey. You've been trying to wrap.
do you
it up
have
for the
do you have
past
any
20
final
minutes.
words? And then I'll take it. Also,
Look,
chat.
Loki, I'll bring you a slice.
Chat. I'll ask you guys real quick. who do you want me to host? Because I'm
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be
You have a
hosting somebody right now.
You guys a fat host. No, seriously.
So put your responses
Yeah.
in the chat while FloKey and I wrap up.
Yeah, no, seriously. Again, I think me and Jay can both say this is the biggest. Like, we made history. I want to give a big shout out to Cali Mac again for coming on
Absolutely.
earlier and crushing it and giving his perspective of what happened. We are promised Faulty thing at some point.
Oh, we're getting Faulty
So-
on here.
Oh
We-
yeah,
yeah.
most definitely. You need him, man.
Faulty as definitely owes me one, and we are trying to be looking for. Again, if you guys are not in the Discord, and I repeat, this is important because you get access to us anytime.
That's
You get-
powerful.
That is powerful. Number 2 is that's where all your information for the monthly is going to be at. So if you're any remotely interested, East Coast, PS4.
You also have to join the Discord to join the monthly. There is a
That
verification
too.
on Smash.gg. So if nothing
Yeah.
else bars you, do it for that.
Please do, and then you can just ask us random nonsense questions,
Which I mean,
or you could be like Sharpie and tell us to play Skullgirls all the time, which wouldn't be a bad choice.
I've
Wouldn't
been
be a
inside of this Discord server for 30 minutes and I've told to play Skullgirls 4 times.
Are you?
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's
OD.
I
But-
was counting.
But yeah.
But seriously, seriously, as some dude that I literally came to this game after playing other games for so long and like finding a community, and like me and Jay have been mostly Jay's been doing God's work. I've just been along for the ride. So if guys, please follow Jay, please follow everybody you see on screen in a big circle effect here. What do you want, Seven?
What do I want? I'm so glad you asked, man. You know,
Oh my
I really appreciate it.
I will go.
Oh my
You're
God.
such a generous man, bro.
I will go G to level 3 you. I will
Yeah,
split the seas.
I'm such a generous
I
man.
he
will
wants,
split the
he wants
seas on
stuffed
Thank
Who
crust
gave
at
this man
Pizza
a
Hut.
platform?
Like, thank you, bro.
He put on the jacket and
Yo.
everything.
So since Mr. FloKey was so kind to let me speak once more in his presence,
Looking like a big and tall Isley brother.
Yep.
What are you?
but
Seven. What are you
if
bringing?
you guys got any questions, except Steph K in the chat, if you guys have any questions like on mentality or just want to get better at the game, like my Twitter's right there. Feel free to DM me. I'm really good when it comes to like mentality and just trying to get better as a whole. Because I know they're like mid-level or average level players in here that's just trying to get to the next level, understand how to get there. And
Right.
free of charge, I will gladly answer any question.
Yeah.
Just-
Like
just
I've
feel- yeah.
I've even reached out to Seven. Like seriously, like me and him haven't had a session yet, but I can already tell like this dude, like him is like he's really gonna like. What I already tell you, like I already feel like I'm gonna go to the next level. Like after I played him only like a couple of times, it's only gonna get up. And really big shout out to him. Jay, you got anything final words
Yeah.
for the people?
So to
Hey, Jay, I
do
need
my
you to say
shout
it
out,
loud, please.
the first
Yeah,
thing
please
that I
do
want to
mention.
do is I want to thank DaPurpleSharpie. She was really instrumental in helping make this stream tonight what it was.
Seriously.
She personally walked me through how to set up everything and do a lot of stuff in terms of streaming. I had no idea, because one of the big things I believe in as a person is when I don't know something, I ask for help. And one of the people who I find myself time and time again going back to help for is Sharpie, because she is a wealth of knowledge and has had so many things where I just don't know, or I don't know if someone else could relate, but she's there and she knows.
Sure.
And I legitimately could not ask for a greater TO to work with, and she has made every single day that I have done things for and at Xanadu an absolute pleasure, and I really couldn't ask for more. Aside from Sharpie, I want to thank the members of my community. Every single one of you. You have worked so damn tirelessly. And you know what? there was a point where I came to Xanadu and it was me and my brother. And I would show up, no one would be there, and I'd go home. And that hurt. That hurt because there wasn't a place for me to play the game that I love. And now, every night I walk in, I don't care if I go 0-2, I don't care if I go 4-2, whatever the score is, whatever my record is. Yeah, I'll get frustrated, but I don't care. What matters to me is watching you guys in those seats, playing your hearts out and working so damn hard. And you guys have come so far in such a short amount of time.
God fucking damn it, bro.
And
You
that
got
just-
me. I hate you for that one.
That
Yo, we
means
got
the world to
tears.
me.
Oh, you got
really
me on
does.
that one. Oh, no.
The first PRZ, the one that was made with like the in-game rankings, I have 55 versions of that on my computer. 55.
No, he really
I'm not
does. He showed me each one.
I'm not
Oh
a
my
graphic
God.
designer, but I wanted to try for you guys. It was outside my comfort zone, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to give you guys what I think you deserve, which I think is the best damn local we can put together.
Truth.
And we're going to work hard. We're going to go back to our roots. We're going to go back to that grind. We're going to go back to that DMV fire because that is what we have been founded on. And hard work is what has gotten us to this point. And hard work is what is going to take us forward.
Oh!
And that's it.
JDiesel! Oh!
That's
shit.
what our scene is built on. It is built on sweat and blood, and it's going to continue to be built on those things. And you know what? I'm going to add the glitz and glam. You give me your sweat and blood, I'll give you the glitz and glam, and we're going to make a hell of a region out of it.
Yo, oh? Yo, oh!
And real quick, Soap, I saw what you were saying in the chat. I didn't take a single bit of that as any type of criticism. You're an awesome guy, and the way you came up to me, Soap, you literally apologized to me, CEO, for, the way you acted there. You're a good guy, and I respect players like you. All right, so that's it. I really don't have anything else to say. I think I've kind of gone through the stuff that I really cared about. What's up, Seven?
I was gonna. Damn it! No!
I just want to say, for those who asked what Ronald Nation is,
Here we go. Here we go. The lore.
I can't give an accurate definition.
Just put it in the chat.
But just
No.
It's real quick.
He has an episode.
Yeah, just
from
know
7.
that. Just know that like the entirety of the DMV is like we kind of roll it in the shadows. We don't really show up, but we kind of rule DMV. We just not like in the limelight yet.
They're like the shadow organization.
Yeah. We kind of run things in the background.
Oh.
Yeah. So like if you ever like at nighttime look outside and you just hear Ronald Nation, that's just us doing something. Don't worry about it. That's just us doing something.
Sir,
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah. It just don't worry about it. Hopefully you sleep by then, because you shouldn't be up. Get your 8 hours.
One thing is, I know Kite brings this up every week because he pops in. Again, if you guys have any suggestions of who you guys want on the podcast, please let us know. Seriously. I have a couple ideas. Jay has a couple ideas. But we want to hear from you guys. Give us feedback. Did you like the show tonight? Did you hate the show tonight? Seriously. Like, it helps. It helps all of us.
It does.
For the cult, give Seven what we want, bro.
Let me see some Ronald Mason. There you go. That's one.
Can we wait?
That's
Am I
3.
because I can do Ronald Nation?
Go ahead. Yeah. You also you're Ronald Nation by association, bro.
That's OD.
You see? Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah,
No,
everybody in here is a Ronald Nation by association because like you guys are the homies.
Seriously,
things wouldn't be as fun without you guys.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
And
no, seriously, this has been go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say, and that's the other thing.
It's kind of whack.
I really appreciate every single one of you guys who take the time to come through to watch our content, either live, on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever it ends up. Because I appreciate you guys taking the time and valuing this as something you want to spend it on. Like, we work hard. I try to do my best. I'll make a cooler layout one of these days. I'll get around to it. But I
heard DaPurpleSharpie makes really cool layouts.
Well, I just might have to. I might have to take a look on that.
We might be talking to you.
But that's the thing, boys. That's not boys. Chat.
Chat.
That's it, because it's not just we represent everyone out here. You're all welcome, and you're all welcome at Xanadu. If any of you ever have a chance to come by, come play at our local. Come up
Or BP or GBS.
Yeah, do it.
Or anyone in New England.
Do
Come
it.
to New England.
do what you guys.
Yeah,
gotta
go
do.
to Balance Patch. Lucky D runs a great service. Literally the very first person I ever talked to in Massachusetts. That Facebook. He's so great with new players. He's so great with veteran players. Go through, support the home.
Yep.
Ajax up there. You got friends like FloKey up there. Like go
Ronald
through and
Nation.
support.
Yep.
God damn it, Ronald Nation.
So
But yeah,
I think this is it.
yeah,
FloKey, I'm going to no. This is just for FloKey. FloKey,
Yo, what's up?
I didn't forget about what you wanted to do. What are you doing tomorrow?
We'll talk after this.
there we go.
Okay, yeah, because I'll definitely I haven't forgot.
Yep.
We are still going to be in this call after the stream ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
So-
Even better.
That's it. Also, I noticed a lot of you guys dropped a follow, and I really
Seriously.
appreciate that. That was really, really nice of you guys. Be sure
Yeah,
to follow
this
everyone
stream's
here
been
on their
taken over by
socials.
Raw
All these people
Nation.
work incredibly hard in their own ways. It's not just me. I couldn't begin to take credit for all of this.
Aw.
But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna kick you guys over to Coach Steve. We said the man's name too much on this stream. So,
Yeah.
so I think it's the least we can do.
It's only
And
for the
fellas,
culture.
when we raid Coach Steve's stream, it's Ronald Nation time.
All right,
You
as
see
soon as
that
I
in the
host
chat.
him, boys, I want to see Ronald Nations fill
No,
this
no, no, no.
chat.
You have to rate. You have to put
rate him?
command raid. Yeah.
All right, we'll rate him then. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
rate
That's just
him,
Ronald Nation
bruh.
in the
Here we
chat.
go. I'm gonna do the outro, and as we go through, I'm gonna hit the raid button. All right, guys. It's
Thank
been
you
real.
so much.
Peace. All right, I'm rocking. But we're muted.
You need to be stopped. Say goodbye.